Presented by DirecTV. And welcome to sold-out Purcell Pavilion here in South Bend, Indiana. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the Louisville Cardinals. And let's get right to it. The one-on-one, Dick, beginning with one of the best big men in the country in Jack Cooley.
Well, you know, when you look at Jack Cooley, he's going to do a great job. A double-double guy, 15 of them this year. He ranks very high, Dan, in terms of field goal percentage and also in rebounding. He's so effective on the inside, very aggressive. Last week, he was player of the week, averaged 21 points, 16 rebounds. He's going to have to be big. On the other side, you look at Louisville, they go as the little floor general goes. Peyton Siva, he's got to find the open man. He's going to distribute the ball. He creates turnovers. There he is in their pressure with a score. He's a catalyst. He's a key. If he plays well, they are tough to beat.
Now look at the starting lineups, beginning with the Cardinals. Wayne Blackshear, who's back from a minor shoulder injury a couple of weeks ago, starting to knock down shots, and he moves into the starting lineup. The great backcourt, of course, of Siva and Smith. For Notre Dame, a pretty potent backcourt as well. Eric Atkins, Jeremy Grant, and the double-double machine in Jack Cooley. He's got 15 of them on the season.
I think the key's going to be backcourt play. You got two outstanding backcourts. You talk about Louisville's, they rank as one of the 5 best backcourts in America.
The officials, Ed Corbett, Michael Stevens, and John Gaffney, as Reese told you a few minutes ago. Weather trouble preventing Michael Stevens, another official, from getting here. So John Gaffney, there's John, who worked the game up at Marquette this afternoon in Milwaukee, is working the game here in South Bend tonight, filling in admirably under difficult conditions. The weather paralyzing much of the Northeast over the last couple of days.
He gets triple time, right? He should get triple time, man. I mean, he's going beyond. Violation on the tap. He grabbed the ball. You're not allowed to do that. Cooley.
And Louisville getting the first possession of the night. This is Siva, the senior, scoring down a little bit lately, Dick, but the assists are great. And the lob, no good. Behannon has it knocked away, and it'll be Louisville ball as the Cardinals go for a highlight play on the first possession.
Yeah, two-man game. They try to get the little lob up to Behannon. Very strong interior player. They got a good basketball team. They went through that little slide. They lost 3 in a row. But then if you really evaluate their 3 losses, they were unbelievable heartbreakers, every one of them.
Lost to Syracuse, Villanova, and Pitt. 2 of the 3 were on the road. The Irish showing a 2-3 zone.
Yeah, right away. They go right behind the front 2. That's a danger area. You can utilize them as a passer.
A wing 3, no good. And coming out with the rebound is Pat Connaughton.
You might see Notre Dame use about 20 to 25 seconds on the shot clock with each possession.
Louisville playing zone as well. The Irish just saw Syracuse's zone. Didn't do very well against it at all on Monday night, being held to 47 points.
They've really struggled scoring recently. Had a struggle in that game, certainly with Georgetown. There's that zone. See that taking time off the clock. He wants to have tempo his way. He doesn't want Louisville to go up and down the floor.
Cooley gets a good look inside.
Nice patience right there. Good execution. Patience against the zone. See, the zone will help your tempo as well because it'll force teams to slow down and attacking it.
Jang rolls off the rim.
Didn't go in strong enough. Got to really attack the rim there.
There's Jeremy Grant. He and Atkins in the backcourt. When they met in the Big East Tournament semifinals last year, Mike Bray felt the pressure of Louisville got to the guards early and really kind of sapped their confidence the rest of the way as Louisville eliminated the Irish in New York.
See, with a zone like this is a scenario where they lose one, and that hurts.
The drive by Grant. He got a little tangled up with the rim, it looked like. Didn't get a foul call that he wanted, and it's Louisville ball.
You know, Martin's one of the premier shooters in the Big East, shooting the 3. He's shooting better than 45%.
Jang came over to alter the shot. Jang has shown the ability in the middle of the zone to be a good passer, make some good decisions. This time he'll try the turnaround, and it goes.
Stage wide open. If you slide behind the top 2 guys, that area is wide open.
Jang, you can see the wrap he's got on his left wrist. Missed 7 games earlier this season after breaking that wrist. He's come back and is one of the league's premier rebounders and shot blockers.
While they're playing man-to-man now after the score, they might rotate man-to-man after score, and a missed shot go back in the zone.
Now, the better they shoot, the more they can put their press on, and that's where they really cause problems. Screen by Tom Knight. Sorry, Dick.
Notre Dame doing exactly what Mike Bray told us. They were going to utilize that shot clock to 24 seconds.
Well, they've utilized almost all of it, and they don't get a shot off on this trip. Blackshear to the trailer. Siva. Blackshear gets it back. Wide open for three. And here come the Irish. They'll run when they get the chance. Connaughton. They need him along with Cam Beedshot, who's going to come off the bench tonight to knock down some shots as Atkins commits the foul.
Well, they had great execution right there, good efficiency, but didn't convert it. You look at Mike Bray with the no-tie look. Got rid of the sweater. He's done an amazing job here at Notre Dame. You look at his career record, look at him working on sideline in terms of defense.
This is his 13th year at Notre Dame. In the previous 12, 8 trips to the NCAA tournament, the other 4 to the NIT. He's gone to the postseason every year.
6 consecutive years, winning 20 or more. See, that's wide open behind the great execution. Slide a guy behind the front two, and then knife a guy right down the lane. A little two-man game, high-low.
Behannon from Zhang in Louisville has the lead.
See, I don't see Notre Dame really looking very confident in that zone. It's different to line in the 2-3 and not sliding as a unit like Syracuse does. They slide with 5 guys.
Well, Louisville's rep is not a great outside shooting team, so the Irish may force them to make shots as Zhang comes up with the first of what could be many blocks if recent games are any indication. Crowd wanted to travel on Russ Smith. Now they'll get it.
Now Russ Smith, he says he drives. Absolutely, Rick said he drives me crazy in practice. But I'm telling you, he's got to play. He's a gamer, man. He's a gamer.
He's averaging better than 18 points per game. Early sub for Mike Bray now as Knight goes to the bench. And Zach August, a freshman out of Marlboro, Mass, comes in. A guy who really gives them some physical play and a lot of energy. They've gone to a different look. Sam talked about it at the beginning of the show. Now 2 bigs after the injury to Scott Martin. Instead of 4 out, 1 in, it's 3 out, 2 in.
Trying to get those ball screens. Everybody utilizing a big ball screen. Got a head draw thing. Got to have different sequences on how to play that.
August inside. Doesn't get the bounce. Tapped off the rim by Zhang. And here's Siva.
See Siva under control right there. Last year he would have been out of control. And that all happened when he went through an evaluation with Rick Pitino and he saw a film of Steve Nash.
Offensive foul on Gorgie Zhang. And it will step aside for the first time tonight. A low-scoring start here with Louisville up by 2.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. And in part by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
Syracuse comes into Louisville and upsets number 1.
Not many saw this coming. Villanova wins it 73-64 over number 5 Louisville.
90-foot shot comes up short. Georgetown with a huge win.
So after rising to number 1, they lose 3 in a row. Now since then, Louisville has won 3 in a row. They've had a pattern at times of struggling late. Now last year they lost 4 of their last 6 in the regular season. Then they won the Big East Championship and went to the Final Four. So don't count them out just because they lost 3 in a row.
Those 3 losses could easily, with a play here and a play there, been wins. I mean, he told me flat up and down, he said, we haven't really played a bad game. We've lost to some good teams, 2 of them on the road. And the Syracuse game, they had won. 20 some seconds. Michael Carter-Williams with the steal goes down and jam and beats him.
And the foul on Russ Smith, his first, just a 4-2 game here, 4.5 minutes in.
Has not been good basketball. After very simple, very blunt, this has not been well executed. Notre Dame shooting 1 for 7. That's Brick City.
Notre Dame has yet to turn it over, and that's such a strength for Louisville. They get 32% of their points off turnovers. Remarkable.
They're one of the best in America in forcing turnovers.
And Atkins is fouled. Shane Behannon stepping in, and he'll be called for the foul.
You know, Rick Pitino, if he wins here today, he then has his 21st year of winning 20 or more games, which will rank him 4th. Jim Boeheim leads with 34 years. Wow.
Pitino, of course, 6 Final Fours, a national championship. And a turnover. There's the first one of the night for the Irish as August is called for the travel.
I'll tell you one thing, there's no doubt he has the numbers to be a Hall of Famer. Mike Brady, love him here. Rick Pitino's really proud of his son Richard. What a job he's doing at Florida International University. Had 13 wins going into tonight's action, playing tonight.
Had to play his dad back in December. Had to play Louisville. Cardinals winning by 24.
He's done a phenomenal job there, creating a little excitement.
Siva using the screen. Notre Dame expects a lot of ball screen action from Louisville tonight. Blackshear with a jumper in and out.
Blackshear had 19 points the last game. He's battled shoulder injuries throughout his career. Has so much potential. Very athletic. There's that 2-3 zone. See, they're playing the zone on the missed shot. I think they like seeing the zone in a way. I think you're right in what you said. Cameron Beescheid has to be a player off that bench to make threes. Against Villanova, when it beat Villanova here, he had 18 points and knocked down, I believe it was 5 threes.
Yeah, he was named the freshman of the week in the Big East. Beescheid getting ready to check in now. Again, the shot clock is running down. Connaughton, the kick to the corner. Atkins off the top of the backboard. And here come the Cardinals. Nice look ahead. And Smith will go to the free throw line after being fouled by Atkins, who has picked up his second of the night. Well, rivalry week gets going. And on Super Tuesday, look at this doubleheader. Kentucky and Florida. Florida, one of the many highly ranked teams to suffer losses this week. Kentucky's playing better. And then what can you say about the Big Ten? It'll be Michigan and Michigan State at 9 Eastern Tuesday, all a part of Rivalry Week presented by Wendy's.
You know, you think about John Beilein. He goes from Indiana to Ohio State, and then he goes to Wisconsin, and that's like a root canal, man, going down there as Atkins goes to the sideline. And then he has to go to Michigan State. I mean, are you serious? How tough is that?
That game up in Madison today, that shot by Ben Brust with no time on the clock, basically, the 40-footer to tie, and then he hit a big three as Wisconsin wins in overtime. How many teams go to Kohl Center and come out of that? You talk about tough places to play. We've talked about here. Up there in Madison, that's a tough place to play as anywhere in the country.
Well, they're so well coached, too. They really understand how to play. And Ben Brust, I put it on Twitter, has to be the man of the weekend. He is going to be the big man on campus in Madison.
Meanwhile, the second foul on Atkins, a guy who averages better than 38 minutes a game in a Big East play for the Irish. That is a big loss early for Notre Dame and forces Grant into much more of a playmaking role, although he does average better than 5 assists per game, even though he's really their two-guard.
Tell you one thing, as you watch them sitting on the bench, I have a real problem with what's happening in college basketball. So many times we see stars immediately sent to the sideline, a quick whistle or two. I really believe, and I know it'll never happen, basketball is the only sport where you penalize a star and put him on the sideline. Think about it. Baseball, you don't. Football, you don't. Basketball, you do. I really think it should be a coach's discretion. You get 5, play. He wants to play, we play him, but it's 2 shots in the ball if he fouls again.
Whoa. Tom Knight gets the bounce.
Keep the star on the floor. People pay to come to see the star. How many times we see him sitting on the sideline because of a quick whistle?
The three in and out for Luke Hancock, who's checked in. Bohannon to a wide open Russ Smith. He misses the three. And Cooley comes up with a loose ball.
Talking about a kid that's made himself a player. Jack Cooley came from nowhere to become a solid double-double guy.
Beescheid into the game. Connaughton with the baseline drive. The kick. This is Beescheid. Got it.
That's good news for the Fighting Irish. That's good news for the Fighting Irish.
The freshman out of St. Louis, he shoots more frequently on a per 40-minute basis than anybody else on the team, and they're going to need it here tonight.
He's not shy, man.
No.
He's not shy.
Hancock hits the transfer from George Mason. Getting more minutes recently. Blackshear was out coming off the bench tonight, but he's got a chance to be a big contributor if he can make shots for Rick Pitino.
Dan, that was created by the post play. Throw the ball into the post, right behind the front two in that zone, and use the reverse pass, wide open for the three.
Grant with the drive, and he's heading to the free throw line. And the foul was on Peyton Siva.
I think Louisville, when you look at the end of the year, come March, Rick Pitino's one of those special coaches in a one-and-out situation. He knows how to motivate, how to get the most out of people, and they have the parts. They are going to be a dangerous team at tournament time.
the general consensus about Louisville seems to be, as Kevin Ware comes in, if they make shots, they're as good as anyone, because you know what you're going to get at the defensive end.
They were my preseason #1, and I'm not changing right now. I still think they're a major player come tournament time, even though we see how wide open it is.
Who's #1 next week?
That's a big question. I think if Duke wins and they beat, when you look at their resume, they beat Boston College, which they should do. They win that, I would vote for them #1. And we have them Wednesday against North Carolina, who today took a real beating from Miami.
And Miami's a team that some people are saying, hey, maybe they should be #1, as Ware misses the 3. Long rebound, big collision between Siva and Connaughton. They play on. Hancock is wide open, and Louisville's missing all kinds of open looks from beyond the arc in the early going.
Well, that's the rap on them. Very streaky shooting team from the perimeter.
A timeout on the floor. Mike Bray likes what he sees. The Irish have picked up the energy in the last couple of minutes, and they've got themselves a 1-point lead. A collision worthy of football here in South Bend in the early going. It has been another crazy day in college basketball. If you haven't seen the shot that Ben Brust hit to send the game to overtime against Michigan, the Badgers going on to win, you have to. Miami pummels North Carolina. Shane Larkin with another great game, and Kansas loses for the 3rd time in a row. What is going? It is the wildest year ever.
Hey, let me ask you this. Are you sure that LeBron James and his buddies aren't playing for Miami? Because
they were there today.
The scoring margin's unbelievable. I mean, what they're doing to teams, what they did to Duke, what they did to North Carolina, they're undefeated in conference play. Jimmy Laranaga's done a phenomenal job. What a matchup when they have to go back to Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Yeah, it's on March the 2nd. Let's look at the top 10 from this week. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 10 lost. 10 lost twice. 5 lost twice this week. Kansas lost to TCU, and then today to Oklahoma. Gonzaga's playing, and last I saw, leading right now. Who's #1? You can make a case for a few teams.
Yeah, but I'm going to make my case for Duke. If you look at their total resume, you know, they had that 1 bad game, but they only got 2 losses, and they got some very impressive wins.
Siva, no. Louisville cold from the perimeter. Hancock, no. And Tom Knight down with a rebound.
You know, Tom Knight's giving him some quality minutes. He's giving him about 7 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, since stepping in for Martin.
Eric Atkins remains on the bench with 2 fouls. Louisville's just 3 for 14 shooting tonight. Beat shy, not this time. Connaughton ranging way out of his area for the offensive rebound.
Well, they got 2 potential shooters in Connaughton and Bishai, but Connaughton's really been struggling shooting the ball.
Also a member of the Irish baseball team. He's a pitcher. Cooley with a nice cut, and he knocks it down.
That was really good basketball right there. Stepped to the ball, caught it, had good rhythm to that offensive sequence. They got the tempo their way. They really are controlling the tempo of fighting Irish. That was a big thing Mike Bray was talking to us about in his office.
Kevin Ware loses the handle, gets it back in the corner. Russ Smith on the bench right now for the Cardinals as Jeng shows good range on the jumper.
There's a kid that's made unbelievable strides from when he arrived at Louisville.
Grant gets it over without a whole lot of difficulty. Nice look inside. Cooley, deep position out to Knight. And the rebound down to Hancock.
One thing they're doing a pretty good job Notre Dame is defensive transition. Not allowing them to get numbers.
Hancock not hitting, keeps trying.
He's not afraid to shoot either. He and Bishai, not very shy.
Transfer out of George Mason, hit a big shot in an NCAA tournament game a couple of years ago to help beat Villanova.
George Mason played for Jimmy Larinaga. So just a quality young man. See, taking time off that clock. Patience. Patience is their motto.
Knight almost got trapped, and now he turns it over. Ware comes up with the steal and the finish.
You know, Ware a really good athlete. Rick told us before the game, very athletic player, giving him a lot of good quality minutes lately. I'm gonna tell you, is it me or you? Oh, what's going on? It's quiet.
It's a little quiet.
It is quiet.
Would have gotten a little noisier had Grant knocked that shot down, but back on the Cardinals. Neither team shooting well in the early going. 11 minutes in, just 12-11. Siva, tough pass in traffic.
That was one of his problems last year, always up in the air, and he had to throw the ball, turned it over a great deal.
Montrezl Harrell into the game now for Louisville, number 24, freshman with a ton of potential.
Yeah, they really like him. Originally signed with Seth Greenberg and Virginia Tech.
And a little miscommunication. Siva was lobbing it for Harrell. Harrell wasn't expecting it.
Harrell's one of those athletes, very physical, very tough. When Seth joined us, he said, nope, I'm not going to Virginia Tech. And Rick Pitino got himself a fine.
Offensive foul, Jaren Grant.
That was a good call. He definitely was flying in the air. Defense was right there, established.
Jang over to take the charge. And Grant will head to the bench as Atkins comes back in for the first time in several minutes. Atkins playing now with 2 fouls.
Well, you remember earlier this year they lost to Duke. Jang did not play in that game. In fact, he missed 7 games this year. Look at the shooting right there. Wow, that is absolutely Dick Vitale shooting. Are you kidding me? That's Digger and I putting out a shooting clinic.
Russ Smith back into the game. Jang. And it is out of bounds still with Louisville. 16 to shoot.
I think Rick works that sideline. Started as a young guy at the 5-star camp under Howard Garfinkel. And what a career he's had. And that career has taken him one place. It's going to take him to Springfield. There's no doubt he's a Hall of Famer.
Jang to the bench. Stephen Van Treese into the game for the first time tonight for the Cardinals.
Is that zone?
Mike Bray saying, where's the walk? He thought Smith hopped. I think he might have a case.
That's a good case.
And now it's a block called against the Irish.
Mike Bray not very happy on that sideline. Not very happy.
Mike Bray still complaining about the lack of a travel.
He's not inviting him to Parisi's either. He's not inviting him to dinner.
Say it with me now, Dick. Rivalry week.
Rivalry week. Rivalry week.
Presented by Wendy's. Notable games from a rivalry week coming up. Boy, Kansas has lost 3 in a row. They're home to K-State on a Monday night. Kentucky and Florida. That's always a good one. Michigan to Michigan State will be another great game in the Big Ten. Syracuse and Connecticut. Who knows if we'll see these programs play again. Miami, that number is going to be higher than 8. They're going to be higher in the rankings than that. And you and I will have Carolina at Duke on Wednesday night. Carolina coming off a drubbing at the hands of the Hurricanes. Duke's at Boston College tomorrow.
Tuesday I'll be down there in Gainesville, the Rowdy Reptiles, Brad Nessler and company. Looking forward to that. Seeing that Florida team, talked to Billy Donovan yesterday. And that one slip to Arkansas came out on fire at home.
Hancock knocks one down. Just the second make in 11 3-point attempts for Louisville. And Hancock has taken 6 of those 11 all on his own. He's got a couple of makes. Notre Dame will take a timeout. Couldn't get the ball in. Cardinals up by 4.
Yes.
ESPN America. Your late night love.
Back at Purcell Pavilion, Dan Shulman and Dick Vitale, Samantha Ponder with you. Louisville and Notre Dame, low-scoring affair. Both teams cold so far, 15-11. The Cardinals leading. There is Jeffrey Anderson. We misidentified him earlier as Michael Stevens. Our apologies for that. Michael Stevens is the official who could not get here because of the weather, and that's why John Gaffney's working his second game of the day after being up at Marquette earlier today. Eric Atkins knocks down a 3. Notre Dame back within 1.
But wide open, got that open look, and Atkins converted. I think Atkins and Grant give him a solid backcourt. Very experienced. They got a winner's mentality. They defend fairly well. They don't turn the ball over.
The hand and loses the handle. Notre Dame looking for the lead. Grant almost gave it right back.
Got to back it out. Tell you one thing, when he comes on these ball screens, you're talking about Cooley, he puts a body on you.
Cooley having a huge year. Grant gets an open look. A little bit strong on the three. Hancock not shy. August got him with a rejection.
Zach August with that great shot block. Look at this, running the court.
Connaughton with a lay-in, and the Irish have the lead.
And Irish get this place to get a little live. They wake up the Echoes here, baby. Get them live.
And how often do you see a play at the offensive end get started, Dick, with a big play at the defensive end? This time it was by Zach August.
Great play by Zach August. There's the great timing on the block. The ball comes out, and here they go, baby. Run, baby, run. The Irish are off to the races. And my both daughters, Terry, Sherry, their husbands, Thomas and Chris, jump with joy in the living room. They wear Notre Dame stuff, you know, when they're watching.
I'm sure they do. They love the Leprechaun. They love South Bend. They love Mike Bray. Notre Dame up by 1. August getting a chance to play more. Mike Bray changing the lineup around and going bigger. Garrett Sherman's kind of fallen out of the rotation in the last few weeks. So guys like Tom Knight, Zach August getting a chance to show their stuff.
Well, they're 3-1 since Martin's not playing.
Yep. Scott Martin, 6th-year senior, chronic knee problems, multiple surgeries, injured his knee this year, standing up, getting up off a bench at a timeout in the Cincinnati game. And Mike Bray says they're going to have to sit him out at least a couple more weeks, and they're really not completely sure they're going to get him back at all. So Scott Martin's collegiate career, sadly, could be over.
The NCAA gave him a 6th year as well.
Yep. Had a transfer year, then a medical redshirt year. Now more problems this year. Guy who shoots the ball very well.
Started out at Purdue. Played high school along with Hummel, former star at Purdue.
Bohannon rattles it home.
He's been quiet. He's got to really be a force down there in a low box. A lot of ability. The South last year had some big games.
I'll tell you, Russ Smith has been quiet. He's got 1 point tonight.
Siva too.
And Smith averages better than 18. As Siva hasn't scored, and Smith's got 1 point, so neither of the guards have made a field goal for Louisville.
The one thing about Smith, though, he'll do them in bunches.
Oh, yeah.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. Grant. And he thought he might have had that shot blocked, so he fired off an emergency pass. August not expecting it as we check in with Sam.
Yeah, Dan, you guys have been talking about Scott Martin. It was actually really cool to sit on the bench with him today during shoot-around and listen to his perspective on this whole thing. He's been through his fair share of difficulties on the court, but he's kind of taken the approach of a coach. He said on the bench, that's his job now. He's so happy to see Tom Knight getting a chance out there. Says he didn't complain once when he wasn't playing, waiting behind Scott to get the chance to play. This team, the environment around this team, you can really tell it's something special. These guys all hang out together off the court, and to see a guy like Scott Martin take a leadership role, knowing that there's a possibility his career could be over, is pretty impressive.
Well, that's what a team is all about. Really rooting for one another, cheering for one another, and playing for the pride and passion of what the jersey represents.
August spinning inside. Wow. Fortunate to keep control of the ball, and then he made a tough shot.
Made a tough shot, made a great shot block down there.
Mike Bray loves his energy. Irish back within 1, 4.5 to go first half.
And he rotates back in that 2-3 zone. See, right by the foul line is wide open, and he becomes a passer.
Good closeout there by August. Now inside to Jang. Turnaround over Cooley. No.
This half's going exactly as planned by Mike Bray. It's amazing, though, in college basketball, you got the three-point line, you got the shot clock, and teams can't score 60. Jay was talking about it on game day. It's become unbelievably a joke.
Atkins can't get inside the zone. Shot clock at 10. Now he's asking for a screen. Now he gets inside and hits the floater.
Nice little floater in the lane by Atkins. Little running one-hander. Used to watch that shot all the time years ago by a Hall of Famer by the name of Bob Cousy, where they named the Point Guard Award after one of the great point guards of all time.
And Peyton Siva is a nominee for that award. Hancock hits another 3, his 3rd of the night.
Tell you one thing, he's not bashful. And what I like about him, he'll miss 5 in a row and he'll still fire him. Use the post guy as a relay man against pressure. Louisville's not gotten into any kind of trapping pressure yet. They will. Second half, they went into that with Rutgers. They had a 23-2 run.
Bohannon now on Atkins. Shot clock at 7. Atkins with a left hand. No. Cooley had it. Irish get it back with a fresh 35. Beachside. And another offensive rebound for the Irish.
That's a pure hustle right there, being aggressive.
Boy, August sneaking around on the baseline and finally called for the travel. Give it up, says Mike Bray. Luke Hancock for Louisville. He's not giving it up much. He's putting it up, and he's hit 3 threes. The Cardinals with the lead. UPS halftime report is coming up next. Those three handsome guys, Jay Billis, Reese Davis, and of course the coach himself, right here in South Bend, the winningest coach in Notre Dame history. Digger Phelps led him to the Final Four in 1978. He owns this town.
Well, you know, during his 20 years at Notre Dame, Phelps won more games, 393, than any other coach. His team's advanced, as you watch him right there on the screen, to the NCAA tournament 14 times. Went to the Final Four, as you said, in 1978. Averaged 19 wins a year. Hey, Digger, I read it exactly the way you handed it to me. He handed me a little note with all those numbers, and I read it. Reese, I read it for him. I did, Digger. I read it all.
I know this will come as a shock, but he's got a tie with green in it and a green highlighter. And here's the really shocking part. He picked the Irish to win the game tonight.
Oh, wow, that's a real shock. He lives in South Bend. He better pick him. He wouldn't be allowed to go down to Parisi's anymore.
And away from the ball, we've got a foul against Notre Dame. Jeremy Grant called for the foul, his second. A bonus situation for Louisville. If you're Rick Pitino, something you can feel good about, Dick, is you're in the game and neither of your guards have made a field goal yet. And those are, I mean, those are two big time performers for you in Siva and Smith.
Well, when you talk about great guard combinations in America, usually people have them in the mix. And right now, Notre Dame's done a great job negating their effectiveness.
So Grant and Atkins both in the game and both with 2 fouls with 2:15 to go here in the first half.
Rotating to the man-to-man.
Shot clock at 3. Connaughton knocks it down.
They've been waiting for him to find his 3. They flashed the 3 up the board. Connaughton and Beachside have to make 3s for Notre Dame to win.
Smith running off a series of screens, puts it up from the elbow. His first field goal of the night, and Connaughton is down and shaken up for the Irish.
Siva did a great job moving without the ball right there. He had a terrific tournament last year, going to the Final Four when they lost their team down there from Lexington. What's that team's name? Oh, Kentucky.
They're starting to look like a pretty dangerous team, by the way, as you look at Connaughton go down. Looked like he clutched his right, and you can see he rolled that right ankle pretty badly, and he has gone to the bench. Beachside is back in. The Irish are not that deep of a team, especially since the injury to Martin, and Connaughton is a key guy for them.
You look at the Irish resume, I would say their best wins: Cincinnati, Kentucky, BYU. Game like this becomes a big game to them.
Grant pressured by Harrell, finds Cooley inside. Boy, he got a nice touch around the basket.
Yeah, nice job using the left hand right there for the right-handed Cooley. Showed he's ambidextrous, utilizing either hand. You like that?
I do.
One syllable?
I do.
I really get impressed when I see kids like Cooley because I watched him when he first arrived here, and never once would you think he'd be the player he is today. You could say that about Oladipo down in Indiana as well.
Final minute of the first half. Good D on Siva.
They're doing a great job keeping Siva from penetrating and getting into the lane.
He's not going to give up easily, though. Notre Dame ball.
Quite an impossible shot.
Atkins draws the foul on Blackshear.
Really, it was a tough shot there by Siva. Out of control. And they go to the other end, and now they're going to get the chance for two.
Mike Bray's got to love the defense. 32 seconds of good hard defense at the other end.
He's got to like the score, too. To score the fact that he's keeping the tempo his way. If it's a game in the 80s, he cannot win this game.
So Eric Atkins to the line as Connaughton is heading to the locker room. Halftime coming up, and they'll probably get a look at that ankle, maybe tape it up and see if he can go in the second half.
It's been a great year for Notre Dame in athletics. Buffalo McGraw keeps doing that great job, and Skylar Diggins and company. I think they won their 17th in a row. I believe I read that. And then you think about the football team, undefeated. Oh, we won't talk about the last game. We won't talk about last game when I played that team from where? I think Tuscaloosa. Oh, wow, yeah. They were doing pretty good. They were pretty good.
Bad.
Alabama was absolutely at another level.
Irish by 3. Behanna back in it, a quick timeout. Here with 37 seconds to go in the first half. You look at the Big East with these two teams. Marquette up near the top. Syracuse, Georgetown won today. Pittsburgh. Don't forget about Pittsburgh. They picked up a road win at Cincinnati today. They're 8-4 in the league. This is a tough league and a lot of good teams scrapping in the top 6 or 7 spots.
No doubt about it. The league has so much balance.
ESPN College Basketball is available live anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, or smartphone at WatchESPN.com and with the Watch ESPN app. Tonight's game and all Saturday primetime games the rest of the season can be seen in stunning 3D on the ESPN 3D network.
You know, the last time game day was here for a basketball game was 2009. You were here sitting courtside. They lost to Connecticut 69-61.
And Mike Bray said he thought then he got a little bit tense with all the commotion and the hype of game day. So this time he said, you know what, guys, go out and have fun. Do everything. Go to the show in the morning. Relax. They stormed the court. When the kid hit the half-court shot, won $18,000. He wants them to really enjoy everything about it and hopefully play looser tonight than he feels they did 4 years ago against UConn.
Well, he also said, you know, we had that moment where everybody said Syracuse coming to town last year. We rose to the occasion. And also Kentucky this year when they arrived here.
Got a couple of seconds. Atkins. And the first half will come to a close with Notre Dame leading Louisville by 3 in a low-scoring game and hardly any production from Smith and Siva in the first half. Sam Ponders with Notre Dame coach Mike Bray.
Coach, you knew what your defense would have to do against the press and the pick and roll. What's your assessment of how they performed so far?
We've done a great job defensively. Both teams have really guarded. It's kind of hard to score out here tonight. But we've done a good job of not letting Siva get into the lane 20 more minutes, though.
You said it's kind of hard to score. So when that's happening, when shots aren't falling, how do you facilitate the kind of offense you're looking for?
You know what? I just don't want us to hang our head if we're missing shots. Just keep wrestling down on the defensive end. It's one of those Big East wrestling matches.
Any idea on Pat right now whether or not he'll be able to come back?
Knowing him, we'll tape him up, give him 2 Advil. He'll be ready.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Guys.
Sam, thank you. So the Irish lead by 3. Don't miss the second half here from South Bend. But first, Reese J. Digger and the UPS halftime report is coming up.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's. Now that's better.
Halftime here in South Bend. Louisville and Notre Dame back and forth they went. The lead changed hands 12 times. Luke Hancock hitting a 3. He made 3 of them in the first half. Nobody else for Louisville hit one. He leads all scorers with 9. Fighting Irish with a 27-24 lead. Glad to have you with us on the UPS halftime report. Reese Davis, Digger Phelps, and Jay Billis here. So not exactly an offensive thing of beauty in the first half, Jay.
Not at all. I mean, Notre Dame did a good job of taking care of the ball. They only coughed it up 5 times. That led to 7 points for Louisville. But Louisville's not able to get really anything easy. Luke Hancock's knocked down a couple shots, but he can't be the only guy, whether it's Wayne Blackshear or Peyton Siva, Russ Smith. Notre Dame did a really good job when they played man of staying back and hanging on those ball screens. And somebody's got to step up and make a shot. Hancock's the only guy. You can't just make 3 threes and that's the end of it. You got to knock down perimeter shots. They're not doing it.
Well, both teams are, what, 6 for 22 shooting threes. But credit Notre Dame's defense. I thought what they did with Siva and Smith, holding them 1 for 6, only 3 points. That was big in that first half. Notre Dame's very happy to be up 3 at halftime. What do they need to do more of? Get that ball into Cooley, because I don't think Louisville can stop him inside. But as you take a look at momentum, the first 4 minutes of this half coming out, that's what's going to be key for the Irish to maintain this lead.
All right, we'll talk more second half adjustments coming up in just a little bit. First game immediately following game day this morning, Michigan and Wisconsin, and what a barn burner it was. Michigan hasn't won in Madison this century, and it looked as if they had it when Tim Hardaway Jr. Wisconsin had fouls to give, didn't take them. Hardaway knocks down the three-point game. So Bucky needs to hit the 3 to force overtime. And they run an inbounds play to perfection. Ben Brust. Take another look at this. Michigan also had fouls to give, but still a tremendous shot.
It's an unlikely shot, a tremendous play. Michigan should have fouled. You foul, you guarantee a win. Guarantee.
Under 45 seconds to go in overtime. Brust hits the miracle shot. This is more in his wheelhouse. Wisconsin 65-62. Michigan had one last chance, and the Wolverines were poised to move back to the top of the AP poll, but it appears unlikely now as the shot goes awry, and Wisconsin wins it 65-62 in overtime. Brust finishing with 14 points. Obviously the story of the game, both teams fouls to give. How do you play that at the end of the game, Dave?
You got to foul. You just got to make sure that they're taking the ball out of bounds. Reset. Take the ball out of bounds. Reset. They didn't do that. Okay, they still win in overtime. But I still credit Wisconsin having that win at Indiana, and today against Michigan. They know right now they're right in the hunt for this Big Ten title.
Oh, no question. I mean, Wisconsin did a great job. Michigan never should have gotten a shot at the end of regulation, and they never should have let Ben Brust get that shot.
That's
you
right.
Foul on the catch, make them inbound it again.
As you pointed out on game day, we're not talking about the situation where you put teams on the free throw line. They had a couple fouls to give, take it out of bounds, force them not to be able to get out of the shot. But still a thrilling finish nonetheless. Jim Larinaga in Miami, they sort of took the drama out of their finish against North Carolina. We'll show you the red-hot Hurricanes.
This halftime report is delivered by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you.
Back on the UPS halftime report.
UPS halftime report.
Louisville trailing Notre Dame 27-24. You know how you know a team's legit? Jim Larinaga's team's legit against North Carolina when LeBron and D-Wade show up. That and when Billis says you're legit. And he said that Miami is. Kenny Kaji going outside, and they're raining threes everywhere, Jake.
Yeah, Shane Larkin had another terrific game, made 5 threes by himself, 5 of the 15 that Miami had in this ballgame. They just dominated the game from tap to buzzer against North Carolina.
That was a school record for triples.
Watch this one.
Whoa. Larkin going off the backboard and Kaji finishing it.
One of his 9 assists for Larkin.
Tell you what, Larkin does a little bit of everything. He gets steals. He's had a double-figure rebounding game. Miami rolls over Carolina 87-61. Meanwhile, a team that's not rolling. Kansas against Oklahoma. Kansas coming off that horrible performance against TCU. Stephen Pledger's going to get a second opportunity. Here he is stepping to the outside. Hornbreak missed the first one. Pledger didn't miss that one. That was a huge shot for Oklahoma. Ben McLemore would find Jeff Whitney for the dunk, and it would be a 2-point game. Jayhawks closing in on it, but then Hornbreak left wide open. His only bucket of the game. Yeah. Oklahoma beats Kansas 72-66. Kansas has lost 3 in a row, first time since the 2005 season. Right, Jay, what's the biggest adjustment needs to be made in the second half? Let's go from the Louisville standpoint.
Well, Wayne Blackshear, Peyton Siva, and Russ Smith went a combined 1 of 8. Those guys have to get going offensively. They've got to be able to get in the lane. If they can't, they've got to knock shots down, stepping behind a ball screen. Got to get something from your guards. You can't have 1 of 8.
I think Atkins and Grant, okay, they didn't play a lot as far as scoring points. This is a half they still take over this game. I'd get the ball into Cooley. The MVP in that first half to me is Pat Connaughton, making assists, making steals, hitting a big 3. But Cooley now in the second half, it's his turn to take this over and keep the Irish up by getting points in the paint.
Might be worth keeping an eye on Connaughton, too. He seemed to roll an ankle or hurt a foot, went to the locker room a little bit early, see if he's able to go full bore in the second half. And the second half is just around the corner. Louisville hasn't won here since 1994. Cardinals find themselves down by 3, 27-24. 4 of the last 5 gone into overtime. Oh, a little halftime show.
That's Shea Billis.
He's showing off. No. He can't do flips like that.
This halftime report is delivered by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you.
Second half, let's be honest, my friend, it wasn't pretty, but it was close. And 7 of the last 12 games between these two programs have gone to overtime. Maybe we're headed there again.
Well, I'll tell you this. You're being very nice. It was ugly. U-G-L-Y. I even could spell ugly. But I'll tell you this. To Mike Bray, it's been absolutely beautiful. It looks right now like Miss Upton looks when she's on Sports Illustrated's cover. That's how this game looks right now. I mean, the bottom line is they've been fortunate to control the tempo of the game, and they really negated the backcourt of Rick Pitino.
Yep.
When you look at Smith, you look at Siva, they were really a non-factor scoring-wise.
Only 3 points between them. Neither team shooting the ball particularly well. And the Irish only turned it over 5 times. The pressure of Louisville was not that big of a factor. And as we mentioned, when they don't make shots, they can't press as much as they like to. They did get 7 points off turnovers, but they averaged 24 a game off turnovers this season.
You know, that's one of the strengths of Notre Dame, not to turn the ball over.
Yeah, Notre Dame is among the best in the country in all kinds of stats like assist to turnover ratio, fewest turnovers. And then on the other side, Louisville's among the best in the country. Forced turnovers, steals, points off turnovers. So a real battle of those two styles. And it's Louisville who coughs it up in the first minute. Connaughton, by the way, bad ankle and all, is back out there to start the second half of the Irish.
Well, Mike Bray said he's a real tough kid, a lot of tenacity.
Atkins with a floater, a little bit short, rebound down to Bohannon.
I think Bohannon's got some body. Looks like he'd be one heck of a tight end.
Siva dumps it off for Jeng, who is fouled, as we check in with Sam Ponder.
Yeah, you guys are talking about Pat. I did just speak to their head athletic trainer. He said, yep, it is a sprained ankle, but just like Coach said, he's going to go ahead and play through it. He's monitoring him closely right now. As for Rick Pitino, I talked to him. He seemed very calm and collected about this whole thing. He said, hey, we're playing well. We just blew a few assignments on man, but he's confident they're going to get things going here.
All right, Sam, thank you. Jeng at the line knocks down the first 68% on the season. It's a guy who's getting better and better. He is a junior, originally from Senegal.
He makes them both. He makes them both. One of the great strengths of Louisville. If it's a close game and you get the winning time the last 4 minutes, their tandem in the backcourt both shoot better than 80%. Siva and also Smith.
Atkins, nice look to Connaughton. Bohannon down with another rebound. Siva comes up with a loose ball after it was nearly stolen.
Notice how he stayed on the ground. He didn't get up in the air. Last year he'd been up in the air. I mean, a turnover or a charge.
Look at Russ Smith. Acrobatic attempt doesn't go down. Offensive rebound, but then a travel is the call, and Rick Pitino is livid.
He's calling Ed Corbett. He said, come on now. But the bottom line is when you fall to the deck, automatically they're going to blow that whistle and call that out. See right there, there he is right there.
Did he get rid of it before he fell or not? Ed Corbett called it a travel, and the Irish will take it.
I think Ed's word. He's one of the best guys.
Terrific, yep.
He's a terrific zebra.
Working tonight, along with Jeffrey Anderson and John Gaffney. Got to respect the jump shot of night. He can knock it down from about 17 feet away. It's 17.7 rebounds in his first start a couple of weeks ago. Misses that shot badly, and the ruling is it didn't hit the rim. Mike Bray asking Ed Corbett, and Ed said no, it didn't hit the rim. So it's a shot clock violation. Notre Dame up by 1 with Manti Te'o
in the house right now. Tell you what, he went through an unbelievable scene there. A cruel hoax. I mean, a cruel hoax on the young guy. I was so happy to hear that he wasn't part of the hoax. He made a few mistakes along the way, but he's a young kid, and you move on. You go on with your life. Because down deep, everybody I talked to said he's really a good kid.
Getting ready for a pro career, working out hard in advance of the draft. Just Bohannon who puts Louisville back on top.
Bohannon right in that lane. He's training down at IMG, getting ready for the combine. He and Tyler Eifert, another outstanding tight end. Mel Kiper is rated as the best tight end in the draft.
Jack Cooley hasn't gotten a lot of touches here tonight. Has Jeng on him most of the time. Louisville man-to-man defense on this trip.
He's standing too much. You got to be a little more active. You got to want the ball, post up strong, flash to the ball.
6 to shoot. Atkins with a prayer. Jang with a rebound.
You being kind, man. You go down the grotto and pray like that. You get all the prayers in the world. It's still not going to fall in.
Siva, look at that pass to Smith. Way short. Connaughton the save.
Teddy, shooting has been abysmal here. Shooting's been absolutely horrendous. What has happened to guys that can shoot the ball? I mean, when Jerry West played at Oscar Robertson, those guys in college, I mean, they'd have this at the end of the quarter.
Look at those numbers. Both teams under 40% from the field. There's a good look for Cooley.
Put the ball inside, gets rid of it really quick. He's going to get more touches. Just like the kid down in Indiana, Zeller. He gets 6 shots the other day. One game, 4 shots. You got a big guy like that, he's got to get at least 12 shots a game.
Indiana's got a big one at Ohio State tomorrow.
You know, you can make a case for them as #1 if they beat Ohio State.
Even though they lost a game earlier this week. Siva knocks it down. First points of the night for Peyton Siva.
Well, he shot down really under control, squared his body. And let me tell you, that's a tough game playing up in Illinois, losing a heartbreaker. Illinois, a desperate team, gets that win. They needed a win badly.
Couldn't get it into Cooley on this trip.
Well, Jang did a great job in post defense right there. Played him on the side, has a good denial.
Now Grant. And the foul is going to go against Jack Cooley to send us to the under-16 immediate timeout. It remains close here in South Bend.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Ford Service. Keep your vehicle well with the works. Now at your local Ford dealer.
Well, Peyton Siva is one of the quality point guards in America, but he's having a tough time getting some good looks here tonight.
Well, the defense really rotating over. Certainly, scouting report says you got to anticipate. But right now, giving a lot of help on him as he tries to penetrate, kicks it out, gets it back. Really having a tough time. Good defensive job. Look at the one-on-one right now. We talked about Siva. We talked about Cooley. Cooley getting the edge right here.
Cooley with 8.6 rebounds. He's got 15 double-doubles on the season. Going to get there again tonight. But as you said at the top of the show, this game will probably come down to guard play. The battle of Siva and Smith against Atkins and Grant.
I really believe that. Especially when you get down to winning time. This game can come down to the free throw line.
You know, one of the things that Anthony Solomon, one of the assistant coaches for Notre Dame, said at shoot-around today is if Notre Dame turns it over, it's the live ball turnovers that really get you. Louisville's only got 1 steal tonight. Anthony Solomon said, you know what, if they get a 5-second or a shot clock violation or they throw it out of bounds, that's not good, but that's a whole lot better than live ball turnovers, and that's one thing the Irish should minimize tonight. They have not given the Cardinals a lot of easy transition points.
Well, you know, Dan, they're not really doing a lot of trapping, a lot of real pressuring that they normally do. I think they respect the backcourt. They respect the unbelievable experience they have when you look certainly at Atkins and Grant.
Kevin Ware at the line for Louisville. Now a foul issue in the second half for Notre Dame. They lost Atkins for a few minutes in the first half. Now Jaron Grant has picked up his 3rd here early in the second half.
Well, what do you like my little theory about the fact that a coach should have the right? I mean, you practice all week. If I'm a football guy, I practice with my quarterback. I'm not worried about some referee going to put him on the sideline. In basketball, we design our offense and our flow through maybe our big guy in a matter of 1 minute, 2 fouls.
Here's his turnover, and they pay the price.
That's Louisville basketball right there. Force the turnover, convert, get the jam, give them a little momentum. See, right now, you got to watch for a little momentum going the way of Louisville. As the pops the ball loose.
Ware caused it. Siva got it. The hand and finished it.
Nice pass by Siva. You kids up there, his eyes were up all the time, threw the little bounce pass.
All right, let me ask you, who's your best player at Detroit when you coached there? University of Detroit.
Well, we had Terry Tyler and John Long were both pretty good.
Okay, if one of those guys got 2 fouls 5 minutes into the game, did you pull him out?
You know, not as much as they do now.
No?
Not as much as they do now. I think there's a trend now. Al McGuire was the same way. He didn't believe in that. But the bottom line is now, they get him out of the sideline quickly, and that's my whole argument. I think when you get down, let the kid play. If a coach wants to play him, play him. But the penalty will be severe if he gets number 6. And that'll be the fact of 2 shots in the basketball.
Tough shot. And the rebound down to Bohannon. That's kind of radical what you're suggesting.
Yeah, it is radical, but I've been radical all my life.
Great tip in by Jang.
It's going to be a little danger time here for Notre Dame because they don't have the firepower to spot people, double-figure deficits and come back. They're down 6 now. It's a good timeout.
And Mike Bray feeling that as well. He will use a timeout. Siva up for Jang, and Louisville's got a 6-point lead. Back in South Bend, pregame. Dickie V having some fun. Irish fans here in South Bend. You love coming here.
Well, I love my blast. I come to a lot of football games here. Spoke at the Pepper Alley when they played Michigan. And I've had myself a blast.
We want to see you do a game in the Leprechaun outfit.
Yeah, I should wear a Leprechaun outfit. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Of course I did. If we can, I can. Come on, paisans.
It's a 7-0 run right now for Louisville. They've got a 6-point lead. That's the largest lead of the game for either team. And what has been a low-scoring affair. Now, neither team is shooting great, although Louisville's creeping closer to the mid-40s right now, but not a lot of possessions, Dick, in this game because Notre Dame's run so much time off the clock every time down.
Got to utilize that shot clock very efficiently to try and control tempo of the game. You look at Louisville, they've had some good wins over Kentucky, Marquette, Pittsburgh, Connecticut, Missouri, Memphis. Beat a really good Memphis team.
Jaron Grant back in with 3 fouls. Atkins misses the 3. Kept alive by Knight. Beachside the kick. Grant the drive. Atkins the 3. And the follow, no good. In the cylinder is the ruling. Basket interference on Tom Knight. And it's a good call. Jeffrey Anderson with a call. The ball was on the rim.
Absolutely. Internationally, you can get away with that. Not going to get away with it here. Jeff Anderson right on top of that play.
Siva. Tough step back jumper. Jang with the offensive rebound. Siva another miss.
See, that's his real dilemma. Making shots from the perimeter.
And Beachside will head to the free throw line.
And that's a problem right now when you look at Alan Kraft at Ohio State. I love his tenacity, his toughness, but point guards that can make shots. That's why Trey Burton is a step above, because you have to respect so much his perimeter game as well as penetration game.
I'll tell you, the more that you watch Shane Larkin down in Miami,
he's terrific.
Unbelievable. Barry's got to be so proud of his son, and they beat Duke by 27 today. They beat Carolina by 26. They've won on the road. They've got it all going for them right now. They could be, I don't know where they're going to be ranked Monday, but it's going to be a lot higher than 8. They're going to move up a few spots.
They got really a solid back court. They got a good front court. Kaji and inside now Reggie Johnson.
Gamble.
And you look at the combination, and you look at Scott, you look at certainly Larkin. Larkin has become one of the elite point guards of the ACC. Defensively, he's making shots.
Backdoor cut, and Hancock lays it in. The assist to Harrell.
That's Rick Pitino basketball. Execution.
And the lead back to 6, 7 minutes into the second half here in South Bend. The Irish have lost twice here at home this year. That's a lot for them. They have been almost unbeatable here in recent years, but they've already suffered 2 home losses this season.
Last 2 years prior to this year were 33-1 here. They got the best record in the Big East. It's hard to believe when you think Syracuse, Connecticut, and all those schools. Notre Dame has the best record in the Big East. There's a score right there by Beachside.
Big basket to make it a 4-point game.
Since they arrived in the Big East, that's quite an achievement when you look at Mike Bray's team. And on the other side, you look at Louisville, they got the most wins on the road since they arrived in the Big East.
Hancock, he has not been shy for a moment here tonight. Cooley with a rejection of Jang.
Tell you one thing about Beachside, he can score. He has a scorer's mentality.
And Grant draws the foul and will be awarded 2 free throws. Rick Pitino thinks the foul should have been before the shot attempt, but it's going to be free throws.
That play by Beachside was big. Look at maybe a little contact right there. Chang saying, wait, where's the contact?
To the line, Jeremy Grant. He is a junior academically, but just a sophomore athletically. He redshirted a couple of years ago. Atkins is a junior, so they'll have this very experienced backcourt. Back again for one more year, and then Grant for another year after that.
When they go to the ACC, next year they're going to play in the Big East. 7 Catholic schools are going to play in the Big East one more year. Pittsburgh and Syracuse are going to the ACC next year.
And then these two are going the year after that. They'll go together. Well, what a league that's going to be. What a league it is already, and what a league it's going to be, as Cooley has another rejection, and that has fired him up here in South Bend.
Yeah, he's showing some emotion and passion. Crowd's waking up too, getting into it right now. As Cooley coming over, good block shot, using the left hand, use the right hand, he commit a foul.
Everywhere you look around here, this campus is golden. Golden Dome and golden memories of streaks ending, number ones falling. So like the glow of the grotto and the splendor of the stained glass, the luck of the Irish will always be golden.
I remember last year, whenever Syracuse beat Kentucky earlier this year, Mike Brey calling upon the experience of those 2 games tonight, saying to his team, hey, you've done it before. You can do it tonight with 11th ranked Louisville here. An unbelievable winning percentage at home, as Dick mentioned a little bit earlier. 2nd in the country behind only Kansas over the last 7 years.
Number 1 in the Big East, 2nd overall. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, a tough place to play Monday night. They got a big one, 3-game losing streak, and they have Kansas State coming into Lawrence.
And we'll be in Lawrence 1 week from tonight. Game day gang will be there for Texas at Kansas. Texas will have Mike Kabongo back for that game. They'll get him back for the game this week as well. Quiet night for Russ Smith. Jang short. Irish ball. Beachside is fouled.
Tell you one thing, he's always in an attack mode. Every time he touches the rock, he's in an attack mode. He's got that mentality to score. You know, you talk about Notre Dame and some great moments. I mean, there are no greater moments than what Digger had here when they beat UCLA.
Snapping the 88-game winning streak. Beachside.
There's my guy. There's my guy. Mr. B. Mr. B. CB, he can put points on the board. I love guys that can make shots. You can talk about your defense, all that nonsense, all you guys want. You can have guys make shots. Can't make shots, you can't win.
Long 2 for Beachside to tie it up.
Yeah, he makes shots. He gets the crowd going. Louisville was up 6. Here we go. You can be shots. Give me the rock, man. I can make shots.
Well, Mike Brey said they needed him to shoot like he did last week against Villanova when he had 18. And he's halfway there tonight. He's got 9. Notre Dame turns it over. Hancock with a tough left-handed layup.
Tell you one thing, he's been putting points on the board for Louisville. Not afraid to shoot. He's made 3 threes. There's the full court press. See right there, that's Louisville basketball. Yeah. Press, turnover.
Well, it hasn't happened often tonight, but little quick bursts here and there. Louisville has really made life difficult for the Irish in the backcourt.
Take a look at Hancock right there. Nice spin move. Protects the ball really well. Lays under the glass. Played an outstanding program there at George Mason. Who could ever forget that run by Jim Larinaga? Taking him to the Final Four. One of the great achievements I've ever witnessed in my 34 years at ESPN.
Think there's somebody we're not even thinking of who's going to wind up in the Final Four this year?
Well, you know, the way it's wide open like this, hey, who'd have thought about Miami? Come on now. People think of Miami, you think of one thing. Football, football, football. But right now, it's basketball that's the king down there.
See, LeBron and Dwayne Wade were at the game today.
Did they pay for tickets? They get freebies? I wonder if they can afford your tickets. Do you think they can afford some? I mean, gee whiz. Come on, LeBron, give up some cash.
When the rankings come out, the University of Miami basketball program will have the highest ranking it's ever had in program history after the win today. And there's Siva called for the foul, knocking down Atkins.
No doubt about it. Trying to be aggressive out of their pressure. They're really going after it now. Now they're going into Louisville mode in terms of defensive pressure.
Can the Irish handle it?
I think they can with their guards. They got 2 really solid guards. In fact, Rick Pitino told us before the game. He said, I really respect their guards.
Atkins, nice find in the corner. Connaughton.
See, if he can help him out with making threes, that takes him up and stretches the defense. And that allows Cooley to get free on the inside.
Cooley is fouled, but before the basket. ESPN's Journey to the Tourney is a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament Monday. It's the Sunflower Showdown. Number 13 to Kansas State, number 5 Kansas at Fog Allen Fieldhouse. Monday at 9 on ESPN and also live on Watch ESPN. Of course, the rankings will change with KU's couple of losses this week, but boy, that is a group. We've done that game 2-3 times. That's a phenomenal game to be at.
Hey, let me tell you this. All you people in Kansas are a little nervous right now. Trust me, they're on a little bit of slide right now. That team is too talented and too well coached. They will be a dangerous team come tournament time, just like Louisville.
And another Louisville foul. This time it's on Hancock, his third.
Rick Pitino's got his kids turning it up a notch now on the defensive end.
Next foul, Dick, on Louisville is going to put the Irish on the line. Into Cooley. And again, the Irish will take the air out of the ball to a certain extent, as they have done most of the night.
They got a solid tandem in that backcourt. Grant, who certainly comes from a great basketball family.
Drives. And another foul. This time, I believe it's going to be Jeng. And it is, and it'll be 2 free throws coming for Grant.
But Grant created that with his penetration and his drive. Harvey and Horace Grant were great players.
Third on Jeng as the fouls begin to pile up on Louisville.
You know, I talked about Rick Pitino. If he wins tonight, he has 21 20-game seasons. Boeheim's number 1 at 34. Coach K is second at 28. Bobby Huggins third at 23. And Roy Williams is 22.
Think about what you just said. Jim Boeheim's won 20 games 34 times.
That's unbelievable.
And he's got more coming.
He's got more coming, right. He's a young 90. I'm teasing you, Jim.
Dan Shulman, Dick Vitale, Sam Ponder with you here at Purcell Pavilion. Saturday primetime presented by DirecTV. And a close one between the Cardinals and the Irish. Atkins, nice job to come up with a rebound, get around the defense.
Score the basket.
It's gotta be.
Score the basket.
Gotta be.
Score the basket. I mean, I can't believe that.
Boy, unless we saw that wrong.
I'll let you take it. You got 2 eyes. But I would say score the goal here.
Sure looked like it. They don't count the basket, but we got another foul now on Louisville. Hancock is 4th.
Mike Bracelet certainly counted. I thought you got to count that right there.
Yep.
I know you're allowed to take the ball off the glass if it's above the rim, but I definitely thought that ball was taken on its downward flight.
You can take it off the glass if it's below rim level still. That one was clearly above as Cooley hits the front end. So Hancock to the bench with 4.
Tell you one thing, it looks like another mailbox masher. I know you mentioned it earlier. 7 of the last 12 games between these clubs have been overtime or double overtime. 4 of the last 5.
Yep.
4 of the last 5. In fact, Louisville's lost the last 3 times here. I mean, Rick Pitino hasn't had a magical moment in this building. His biggest celebration here was when his son Michael graduated, and he graduated in this building. About 10 years ago, he was a Notre Dame grad.
1-point game, now a Notre Dame foul.
It's the only time Rick was able to leave here and celebrate and feel good.
Tom Knight, I believe, had the foul called on him, his 3rd. And Shane Bohannon to the line. Knight, a guy who was hardly playing at all. But when Sherman fell out of the rotation and Martin got hurt, Mike Bray was searching for somebody. And Knight has gotten a chance to start the last 5 games. And as we mentioned, had in his first start had 17 points and 7 rebounds.
There's a look at Martin on the sideline. Sam talked about him earlier. Great team-oriented guy. But you know what's really amazing is Bohannon makes both those 2 free throws. Sherman really played well when you and I had them earlier this year.
Yeah.
Played well against Kentucky. Hey, he transferred from Michigan State. I want people out there to understand. You know who's leading the Big Ten? You know who's leading the Big Ten? Magic Johnson smiling. He knows it's going to be Spartans, baby. They're in first place.
And Cooley called for the moving screen.
I think you could call that a lot more than it's called. I think a lot of guys with their ball screens do move a little bit. I think there's no doubt about it. He definitely took the little step. I mean, he definitely took that little step. I think that was a good call, Mr. Schulman.
Fourth on Jack Cooley, Dick.
Yep. You can't move. You got to be stationary. That was wide open.
Smith trying to get ahead of steam going. Stops on a dime. Misses the elbow jumper. Cooley with a rebound, and he's fouled by Jang. Poked in the eye, perhaps, and that'll be the fourth on Jang. Boy, is it physical here tonight.
He's decided to play Cooley with the 4 fouls.
Oh,
yes,
there it is. Yep.
No doubt about that.
So 4 on Jang. He will go to the bench. Van Treese back in. Cooley's going to stay. And he's heading to the free throw line now.
I think because they're in a deficit of 3, he's decided to keep him on the floor. He's afraid they'll get wide and open. He doesn't have a whole lot of help on the bench that he can rotate in.
Already has picked up another double-double. He's at 10 points and 11 rebounds right now. The 16th double-double in 24 games this year for Cooley.
I think really the message, what you like about him, he plays so hard. So coaches really want. If you can get players to play to their maximum,
Behannon inside, tough shot.
I don't understand why he doesn't get more touches either. He's so effective with his back to the basket when he touches the ball down inside.
14 now for Behannon. Hancock leads the way with 15. Louisville back up by 5.
Well, you know, he knew it was a big game coming up here and how tough it's to play. He said to Coach Pitino the other day when they were stopping practice, Coach, let's practice longer. Did you know that?
No,
yeah. He said, Coach, we want to stay out here longer. We got a big one there at Notre Dame. Coaches love hearing that.
Good defense by Ware, forcing a tough pass. It'll stay with the Irish with 14 to shoot.
Really had a bad angle right there. Very difficult to make that entry.
Into Atkins. And Atkins threw it away.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I'm going to come up with my 5 greatest players that I have seen in the Big East over the last 30 years.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. And in part by Wendy's. Now that's better. And Land Rover. Above and beyond.
Practice.
Back here in South Bend, the Irish down by 5 to Louisville with under 8 minutes to play in the second half. As Dick teased break, he put together the 5 best Big East players that he has seen in 34 years? 34 years that you've been doing this. And you're going to coach these guys to victory.
Wow. Hey, Coach, you couldn't possibly lose with this 5. And it's a team. It's a point guard, a scorer. How's that for a club? My backcourt. Allen Iverson and Ray Allen. Up front, small forward. Mr. Muller with that sweet shot. Derek Coleman, a Windex man. Patrick Ewing. And coming off the bench, I got 2 guys. I want the Pearl, baby, Mr. Washington, and I want Alonzo Mourning. There's some other great ones, though. Rip Hamilton. You can think about Ed Pinckney. You like Kerry Kittles.
Kittles, great player.
There are so many great ones. But that's a pretty good 5, man.
Not bad.
Iverson
not
and
bad.
Allen. That's not a bad backcourt. I love Allen. Practice. Let's only practice. Why? What are you asking me? Practice? What's the big deal? It's practice. That was a classic.
You got to work on that impersonation a little bit. He might do a better impersonation of you than you do of him.
Practice.
Louisville with the ball in a 5-point lead. Trying to extend a winning streak to 4. Look at this drive. Where? All the way to the basket. Largest lead of the game right now for either team and more pressure.
And immediately jump into full-court pressure. Rick Pitino loves the pressure when Weir's on the floor. He's such an athlete. Talk about athlete, we need lateral quickness, acceleration. could go north to south really quick.
Cooley really wants the ball. Remember, Cooley's playing with 4 fouls. Jang's on the bench with 4 for Louisville.
I think Louisville's really picked it up defensively. You could see the unbelievable intensity has risen.
Van Treese with the foul. And going to the line is Cooley for 2 free throws. That is the 10th foul on the Cardinals, so it's 2 shots the rest of the way for the Irish.
You know, as Reese Davis said during the game day show, he said, hey, let's understand they haven't played them that often, but bottom line is they haven't won Louisville here since 1994.
John Gaffney, one of the officials over at the scorers table, not sure yet what the issue is.
Tell you what, Rick Pitino, as a young coach growing, was on a staff with Hubie Brown, then did a phenomenal job at Boston University. Providence, who could ever forget what he did at Providence? Went to the Final Four, took advantage more than any other coach of the use of the three-point shot when it came into existence in 1987.
Billy the Kid.
Yeah, Billy the Kid, who I spoke to yesterday on the phone. You talk about admiration and respect. Both of them have. And, you know, Rick's son, Richard, worked for Billy and also worked for him. And he's learned so much. I know Richard's going to be a star in coaching.
It was a timing issue. They put 6 seconds back on the game clock, so back to 7:04 as Cooley gets ready for a couple of free throws. And still trying to sort it out a little bit.
Hey, look at the bow tie, man. We got to get a bow tie. Oh, look at the tie.
I go bow tie, you go leprechaun.
All right, yeah, I like that. Look at the bow tie. He worked all night on that bow tie. Now he's getting some airtime, man. He's getting airtime. People are picking up the cell, calling him, hey, look at Papa. He's on TV.
And they still haven't got it straightened out. And Jeffrey Anderson, one of the officials, coming over and telling us they are going to add the 6 seconds to go to 7:10. But they, as you can see, they're having some trouble getting it to 7:10 on the game clock.
Tell you one thing, those seconds can be very, very important down the stretch.
Great week of basketball coming your way on ESPN. It is rivalry week and a Tuesday doubleheader. Dick will be in Gainesville along with the Brad Nessler, Shannon Spake for Kentucky and Florida. And then the late game, Michigan and Michigan State at 9 Eastern. It is rivalry week presented by Wendy's on ESPN and also live on Watch ESPN.
You know, I thought our guys did a great job in that Wisconsin game. Dan Dockage and company, they did a terrific job handling that scenario at the end, because I really firmly believe, just as they were saying, I was screaming the same thought. You got a foul there at the end. You had 3 fouls to give.
Unbelievable. And Brust hit about a 40-footer, a prayer, to send the game to overtime, and the Badgers went on to beat the Wolverines. So how about the week for Michigan? They lose at Indiana, then they win in overtime against Ohio State, then they lose in overtime against Wisconsin. Welcome to the Big Ten.
And now they got to think about going up to East Lansing and play Michigan State. I still like that Michigan team. I'm telling you, there is another team. You put them down come March on a neutral floor, they're going to be tough to beat.
Bohannon misses the jumper. Look at where, literally over the back of Cooley. If it's on Cooley, he's out of the game.
Wow. I thought he climbed his back. He's some kind of athlete, though. You talk about a guy that can really fly to the goal. Where did you see the foul on Cooley?
That's a tough call.
Where do you see the foul on Cooley? I know I only got one eye, Mr. Schumann, but you take that.
I agree with you.
I mean, I don't see a foul on Cooley at all. That is a bad call.
I mean, if a guy goes under another player, backs under him, that's a foul. But
that's a game-changing call. Yeah. You put the star on the sideline. See, here's my argument. Whistles put guys on the sideline. Now it should be in my rule, the Dickie V rule. Mike Bray wants to play Cooley. You play him, and if he fouls, he gets 6. Then it's 2 in the ball.
So let's go back to the call. Do you think that should have been a no call, or would you have a foul on Ware there? What did you see?
I would have it on Ware. Yeah. Absolutely. What do you think?
I agree with you. I don't see how it's a foul on Cooley. Couple of missed free throws. Now we got one going against Blackshear of Louisville.
There was no doubt about a little push in there. You know, Weir's a terrific athlete. I can see what Rick Pitino was talking about.
But right now the Irish are going to have to go the last 7 minutes with a deficit without their best player, the guy who means so much to them on the inside. And so now Knight, Tom Knight, is the big guy in the middle. 4 really perimeter guys around him.
Yeah, he's going real small right now because you got Martin out with the knee problem. Mike Bray's been really handicapped here big time.
This is not a situation the Irish have had to deal with very often.
He's going quicker and he's going smaller. I look for them to get the ball down inside a little bit more, especially to be Hannon.
Cooley has fouled out of two other games, excuse me, this year, St. Joe's and Connecticut. And you know what? The Irish lost both of them.
Touches value.
Yep.
See, right now, I take advantage of him being out. I would get Hannon some touches on the inside. I dump it into Hannon.
And he does get it. Fade away overnight. And Knight down with a rebound. Almost threw it away, but here's Atkins. He'll pull up for 3.
Good job by Hannon, though, close it out on the 3. Bothered him. I knew they'd go inside.
We're getting a lot of minutes right now. Russ Smith has had a very quiet night. He's on the bench right now. Siva and Ware in the backcourt. Siva challenges, and Connaughton might have gotten a piece.
Siva tries too many acrobatic shots. Too many acrobatic shots. He gets himself out of control.
Connaughton.
He's having a tough time making that 3, and that was his reputation.
Notre Dame's such a good three-point shooting team, but they are not hitting them tonight. And it's going to be a timeout for Rick Pitino. Mike Bray trying to encourage his players, even with the loss of Cooley. They're down by 5. Shane Bohannon has really stepped to the forefront, Dick, for Louisville.
Yeah, I really like him. He's got multi-skills, especially around the post area. Big, strong, physical player. Maybe he's shooting a little jump shot. Down to the box inside. He's a big-time power forward on a collegiate level. He's got nice skills. You can see the coaches have done a great job. Rick Pitino is a terrific teacher. He breaks the game down like no others. I mean, really, he's a great teacher. You ever saw him at a clinic? He's a tremendous clinician. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't know why the delay, but Rick Pitino belongs in that Hall of Fame.
Very nice night for Bohannon, the sophomore. Rick Pitino prowling that sideline, trying to pull off a big road win here in South Bend.
Hey, anytime you win on a road now, it is big.
Yeah.
You've seen all what's happened this week. Illinois beating, for example, Indiana. You saw Texas Christian getting their first win.
Yeah. 0-8 in the league, and they beat Kansas.
What about Kansas 3 for 22 at the half?
Smith fouled by Connaughton. And 2 shots coming for Russ Smith. Third on Connaughton. Smith tonight is 1 for 8. 3 points.
And they're still up 5. They've done a great job defensively. You know, it's really amazing, too. They flew in today. They did not come in a day early, and they did not have the shoot-arounds the whole bit. They came in today.
Came in here this evening, got to the arena for the first time at about 7 o'clock. Warmed up, played.
You know, a lot of schools, I think, are doing that now. Really, they are. Ohio State did it the other night against Michigan. I personally have always felt that the shoot-arounds are overrated. I really do. Jim Boeheim
doesn't have a game day shoot-around. Hasn't in years.
Check his record. He's won a few games.
Still plenty of time for the Irish. Grant the drive. 10 to shoot. Boy, they're a little out of control right now, but a good look for Connaughton.
Can't make a 3.
Yep.
I'd get B-Shot some looks, man. I'd get B-Shot some looks. There's a chance it's going down if he's shooting it.
If you're just joining us or stepped away, Jack Cooley has fouled out Smith with a foul that Rick Pitino's not going to like as he reaches in about 25 feet away from the basket and sends Tom Knight to the free throw line. And Gorgie Jang will be coming back in for Louisville. He's been on the bench for a while. He's got 4 fouls.
Free throw line big. They missed a couple of Notre Dame a little bit earlier. Missed another one here. I mean, you're trying to get back in the game. You got to convert these free throws.
So Van Treese out, Jang back in. Makes life a little more difficult on the interior for the Irish.
Okay, such a great shot blocker.
1 of 2. Zach August in for Beachside.
They're going offense, defense right there. They'll bring Beachside in to get the basketball. They got to come up with some stops. Louisville's got to be very intelligent, good basketball IQ now. Make sure the right people shoot the ball, and you leave here with a W finally.
Siva double team. Now August backs off, using the ball screen again. And standing out of bounds when he received the pass was Bohannon.
Good call right there by John Gaffney. He was right on that play. Siva does pass the ball really well. I mean, you got to give the kid his due, and he handles the ball exceptionally well.
Second all-time on Louisville's assist leaderboard. A long shot probably to pass LaBradford Smith, but has an outside chance of winding up as their all-time leader in assists.
He was really the catalyst that got him on that run to go to the Final Four. Played well against Florida, then they lost that game to Kentucky. Kentucky ultimately won the national title.
Grant. Beachside back in there, and he missed the layup.
He misses the layup. The easiest shot again all night.
Smith loses the handle. Saved by Blackshear. And it's Notre Dame ball. 3:58 to go. Timeout on the floor. What a missed opportunity for the Irish on that last possession.
Beachside had himself an easy layup. Look at this right here. Are you kidding? I can make that layup. I can make that layup.
What a week it is. A rivalry week presented by Wendy's. Beginning this week, and look at some of the games, including K-State and Kansas on Monday night. Dickie V's got a couple of these. Kentucky to Florida and Gainesville Tuesday night. Then he'll join me at Cameron on Wednesday night for the first of 2 meetings this year between North Carolina and Duke.
Can't wait. That's always special. I don't care what a team's record is. And you know North Carolina's going to be in there a little angry after what happened to them today.
Jack Cooley has fouled out of this game. Notre Dame's without its best player and trailing and running out of time here at home.
Has the full court pressure.
Louisville does have 17 points off turnovers tonight. Notre Dame has none. Look at the drought between field goals. The Irish are shooting just 33% from the field tonight. They shoot 49% from the field on the season.
Well, that's one of the strengths of Louisville. They're going to guard you. They're going to play as a team defensively. They rotate really well. Give a lot of good help. Bob Knight was on the phone with me yesterday. He was singing the praises of Rick Pitino as a teacher, as a coach. Nice play right there.
And Knight draws the foul. The shot clock was down to 1. The Irish are just moving the ball around the perimeter. And finally, Knight got a pass on the inside, and he'll head back to the free throw line.
I'll tell you one thing. It's amazing how teams can't get to the 60 mark. It really is. I mean, we talked about it on game day. Jay Bullis brought it up. And, I mean, it's really sad in a way. What has happened to the ability to make shots? And the amazing thing is, you got a shot clock and you got a three-point line.
So you think it's more bad offense and good defense?
I really think, it's a combination. Obviously, the defense has really been more sophisticated. I think the film room, the analysis, the scouting reports, all have played a part. But the bottom line is, I think in many cases, so structured, and the kids don't get to go up and down the floor.
Knight makes them both. One possession game. Crowd back into it here in South Bend.
Well, will it be OT again? 4 of the last 5 have been. See right now, Bohannon wants the ball inside. Now he rotates back out.
Jang, and he is fouled.
They really used that ball screen so effectively and then release off it.
Knight the foul. That's 4 on him.
No size on that bench. He may have to go put Digger in.
Well, he's got August in there right now. He's subbing, Mike Bray's subbing August and Beachside in offense defense. Jangamish, here comes Beachside.
See, the guys that can shoot free throws for Louisville are their tandem, their backcourt duo. Siva and Smith, both better than 80% free throw shooters.
There's Hancock for Blackshear. Hancock's got 4 fouls. Just about everybody's got 4 fouls, it seems.
Well, Hancock gave him a lift offensively coming off the bench.
Yep. Made 3 threes in the first half, 1 of 2 for Jang.
Step to the ball. Oh, you don't want to float that ball.
Well, he's always thinking about shooting, isn't he? He's always thinking about it.
Well, he's in triple threat position. He catches the ball, he faces, he can drive, he can shoot, or he can pass.
Notre Dame's gone more than 8.5 minutes since making a field goal.
Combination, poor shooting, but also great defense.
Knight had a good look from about 4 feet away and couldn't finish.
You think about the shots that didn't make. Knight right there, Beachside's layup.
Yep. Could be the difference here tonight. 2.5 to go.
Siva, a very good free throw shooter. The ball's going to be in his hands quite a bit.
And away from the ball, another Notre Dame foul, and Russ Smith is going to the free throw line.
And he's an 80% shooter.
4th on Grant.
That creates a nightmare for you when you need guys that can convert free throws and you're trying to get back, just like we saw with Indiana and Michigan game. Indiana, would they make 14 in a row?
So Mike Bray trying to search for a combination. Martin injured. Cooley fouled out. The Irish not shooting well. Smith makes them both.
They need a 3. They need a 3 badly. And the guy that can make it is Beachside. Set some screens to get him free with a curl move. A little maybe horizontal screen along the baseline.
They switch here. Hancock out on Atkins.
Tough time scoring against this Louisville defense. They are prime, man.
And Mike Bray is going to use a timeout. Now, the last time, as Dick mentioned earlier, the Louisville Cardinals won in this building was 1994. Keith Karowski had a big game for Notre Dame, a career-high 23, but it wasn't enough as Louisville went on to win in overtime. February 26, 1994, they won 85-82. Tick Rogers with a hoop and a foul. Monty Williams' 3-point attempt bounces off the rim as time expires. And Louisville wins. Denny Crum, John McLeod.
Hey, Denny Crum, you talk about a guy that had some wins down there, Louisville, a Hall of Famer. Phenomenal job he did on that sideline.
And a 6-point lead for Louisville here with 2:04 to go. NBA Sunday on ABC rolls on with a doubleheader tomorrow at 1 Eastern. Blake Griffin and the Clippers head to the Big Apple to take on Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks. And then at 3:30, it's the Lakers and the Heat. The NBA Sunday Showcase coverage tips off with Kia NBA Countdown at 12:30.
Tell you one thing, Carmelo's having a great year. And the reason we didn't have Carmelo, basically, they only played 1 year at Syracuse. Right. And he was phenomenal that 1 year. And he's also being phenomenal this year. Those Knicks are going to be a team to reckon with come playoffs.
Notre Dame ball.
This is a big possession, obviously. This is a vital possession. They need a score here for any chance to win.
Looking inside for Connaughton. Good ball movement. Atkins for 3. And the rebound down to the Cardinals. And now Louisville will probably work the clock. Under 2 minutes to go and a 6-point lead for the Cardinals.
Yeah, really in command right now. You got the ball. You got their star on the sideline. They're struggling shooting. They haven't made a field goal in what, 9 minutes?
Over. Yep. Almost 10 minutes now. Smith right into the chest of Connaughton. What a great job to create a little space and finish. Big basket for Russ Smith, who's had a quiet night. But he extends the lead to 8.
He's also playing defense, man. Staying in front. Oh, right there. Staying in front.
And Grant draws the foul and will shoot a couple.
Did a good job trying to stay in front of him, but there was contact.
Smith is third. It's an 8-point game, but the way this one has gone, it feels like about a 28-point lead for Louisville, especially with just about 14 left.
Right. Well, especially because it's so difficult for them to score. Can't score. Not making free throws. The star is sitting on the sideline. He's an assistant coach. You don't need him as an assistant. You need that body on the floor.
1 of 2. August for Beachside.
Mike Bray came out of the DeMatha program, was an assistant for 6 Final Fours with Mike Krzyzewski. Oh, you got a turnover right here. Got a turnover.
And Connaughton lays it in. That tightens things up a little bit.
The face guarded.
Rick Pitino timeout.
And a little sloppy against the pressure. Good hustle right there by the Fighting Irish.
Just slipping with Siva, and then August jumping in there to steal it.
Nice little pass by August. From the deck, kept his poise.
Well, if you look at the Big East standings right now, the team on top is Marquette, which lost to Louisville last Sunday, but a Buzz Williams crew picked up a win against DePaul today, so they're 8-2. Syracuse is 7-2. They host St. John's tomorrow, and then Louisville, Georgetown, Pittsburgh in the hunt. They're the Johnnies. Notre Dame, if they lose this game tonight, they kind of fall back to the middle of the pack. This is the top 10 of 15. And a win for Louisville puts them right up there with Marquette and Syracuse. And look at this.
Breakaway.
Home run pass, Smith the jam.
Breakaway layup. I read a nice article by Lynn Robbins about Steve Lavin and St. John's young kids and how they've really become very effective. I think they won 6 out of the last 7, Steve's kids.
And a foul to send Behannon to the line.
They're probably the youngest team in the country. Certainly one of them.
Yep.
As a release by Smith. Great job executing after the timeout. Set up. They get a good play off it. This man can coach, my friends. He can flat out coach.
And he's not interested in style points, just wants the W.
Why is it style points the way he dresses style? Oh, yeah. He wants to stop.
Even the white suit.
The white
Even
suit.
the white suit.
The white suit. Sartorial resplendent.
Yeah,
Patino.
He wore it Sunday against Marquette. They had a whiteout at the KFC Yum Center.
Hey, you would hear on that game.
They shot the ball well that day. They made some threes, and they beat Marquette by 19. Notre Dame, meanwhile, they've got, not only looking at a loss here tonight, that they've still got a tough schedule the rest of the way. They've got 4 road games still to come in their last 7 in a Big East play. At Providence, as Knight has found out. At Providence, a dangerous team.
Very
at Pittsburgh,
dangerous.
playing well. At Marquette. And then at Louisville. So a very tough schedule for the Irish the rest of the way.
Hey, Ed Cooley's got those kids in Providence really hustling and scrapping.
Nearly stolen by Siva.
He looked like a defensive back right there. He was hoping Brian Kelly was in the crowd, so I got an extra year eligibility. What a recruiting class they got here at Notre Dame in football. Many of them rated him in the top 5 in America.
Grant hits a 3.
Big 3.
First field goal of the night for Jaron Grant. With just 44 seconds to play, and the Irish will use their last timeout.
Well, obviously they're going to foul quickly, put them on a free throw line, and do a little praying. Grant comes up with the big 3.
Well, if Louisville wins this game, they got a chance to sneak back into the top 10 with some of the other losses in the top 10. 5 of the AP top 10 this week lost. Kansas lost twice. So obviously this is going to be a completely different looking top 10 come Monday. What do you think it's going to look like? Give me your 1, 2, 3. Although some of it depends obviously on what Indiana does at Ohio State tomorrow.
Yeah, it really gets down to what happens tomorrow. Duke's on the road tomorrow.
At BC,
Boston College. You never know what can happen. I mean, obviously they should win that game, but you just never know. And Indiana, Ohio State's going to dictate a lot of that as well.
Here's the one thing I know.
Gonzaga's not going to lose any more games, I'll tell you that.
When they cut down the nets in April, nobody remembers what the top 10 was in February.
That's right. But it's great talk, conversation among all the fans.
It's fun, though, sure.
6 straight weeks now, we'll have a new number 1.
You know, in Miami went from unranked to 14 to 8, and with what they did this week, who knows where they're going to be? 4, 3, 2, nobody, who knows?
I can hear all the Duke haters already screaming and yelling. You're going to put Duke number 1? They got pummeled by Miami.
Yep.
Got pummeled. How could you put them number 1 ahead could come out and Arizona could scream, wait a minute now, we beat Miami by 19.
Right.
But Reggie Johnson got hurt the day before that game.
And some Indiana fans would say, well, hey, we're 1, 2, and 3 loss. Leave Indiana at 1. That would be almost unheard of for a team to lose and to stay at number 1. But if Duke were to lose at BC tomorrow, who knows what might happen?
Well, we may have number 1 on Wednesday night down at Durham, and North Carolina will come in. I'm going to tell you, I don't give a darn what the records are. That is intense, and that is a special, special rivalry.
How many of those games do you think you've done? 34 years. How many Carolina Duke games?
Every year. I've done one.
At least one every year. Most years, 2.
Most years, 2.
Some years, 3.
Yeah, but every year at least 1.
Yeah.
I don't know how many, but I really, if there's one thing on my resume I'm very proud of to say I've sat at courtside for a game at Duke in North Carolina every year.
Seven-point deficit. Grant, a deep 3 from the wing. Another one.
Where's he been? Where has he been? He's shooting like his uncle and his father. I mean, where has he been?
And a quick foul, but Russ Smith is going back to the line. And as you mentioned earlier, he's a good free throw shooter. So is Siva.
See, that's a great strength they have. When you got guys in the perimeter who can make free throws and a team's trying to come back, look at that one there. He shot that from Parisi's, man. Roberto's in the house right here, right behind me. I got to bring you here for football weekend.
I would love to.
It is unbelievable. I'll bring you and your son here as my guest. I go at least 3 to 4 every year. Close my calendar, and I'll tell you, it never gets old. The luncheon of 2,000 people, and then you go to the pep rally. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Oh, he did it again.
Where's he been? Oh, man. In one possession game. One possession game.
And a foul to put Jang on the line. Jaron Grant from out of nowhere has hit 3 late threes.
3 unbelievable threes. And not by the three-point line either. I mean, he's letting these babies fly.
Boy, each one tougher than the last.
Got a hand in his face. He's got a hand right in his face. Comes down to the free throw line right now.
Crowd's fired up again. It's not over yet.
I think they like the chances with John down the line. See, too much time in the clock to think about fouling him when he has the ball.
Is the luck of the Irish in the house tonight?
The Leprechaun, man, he's praying.
Unbelievable.
One possession.
No timeouts, got a chance to tie it.
You think they want Grant to shoot it?
He's going to drive it and lay it in. And the foul.
And foul the old-fashioned way. And 4 of the last 5 have been OT, baby. Will this be 5 out of 6? Look, the crowd woke up. He's a cheerleader here. Wow. What a finish. What a finish this kid is putting on. 3 threes, a deuce. That's 11 straight points.
This game was over. It felt over about a minute ago.
Absolutely.
And Jaron Grant has been on an unbelievable tear with 3 threes and a basket. Notre Dame was down 7 with 42 seconds left.
I'll tell you, the last minute and a half, he's been unbelievable. 12 straight points by him.
Now they need a stop to force overtime.
If I'm Louisville, I'm thinking Mahan. Watch for the offensive rebound. That is the danger part. The missed shot.
Siva
with their size. Go to Mahan. And
Jang inside loses it. And unbelievably, this game is going to overtime.
5th in 6 years. The 5th time in 6 years. Cannot believe it. The magic of college basketball and the magic of the Fighting Irish. Touchdown Jesus is smiling right now.
If we hadn't been here to see it firsthand, Dick, you wouldn't believe what Jaron Grant just did.
I mean, he looked like a flat-out superstar. You talk about a great performance under pressure. I mean, man.
11 points, Dick, in the last 47 seconds.
Wasn't it 12? Because he had 3 threes.
The free throw, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, 12. You're right.
12 points. It was unbelievable. Look at this. Where has he been? He just took over. He said, forget about offensive sets. Forget about plays. I'm playing like I played on a playground, man. So I think they're going to let kids a little bit loose. I think kids are too structured sometimes in sets, and you hold them back.
So for the 5th time in the last 6 meetings and the 8th time in the last 13 meetings, Louisville and Notre Dame are headed to overtime.
And remember, Louisville has not won here, as you said earlier, since 1994. Though they have not played in a long stretch of that time, the last 3 times they've come here, they've lost.
And they did it with Jack Cooley having fouled out. Leprechaun's happy. I don't know if it's the luck of the Irish or just the skill of Jaron Grant, but there's something going on in the house tonight.
Tell you, he turned it up. Mike Brady said just the way I designed it. I designed that in our late game action.
So Knight and Cooley, both the starting big guys, have fouled out for Notre Dame. Nobody has fouled out for Louisville, but Jang and Hancock have 4. Sorry, Dick.
No problem. This game was absolutely, in my mind, tucked away. This game was tucked away to Louisville.
Here we go. Louisville ball. Russ Smith. Guess where he's going?
Oh, wave that off. Wave that off.
Basket interference.
No doubt about that.
Boy, Russ Smith had one thing and one thing only on his mind, and that was getting to the rim.
Rick Pitino cannot believe where they're at.
And a good call, just like the one that went against Notre Dame earlier. Smith on Grant. And a foul going against Smith. That's his 4th, and Grant's headed back to the free throw line.
They just put the ball in Grant's hands offensively to say, do your thing. Do your thing.
12 points in the last 47 seconds of regulation.
It's the Grant show right now, man. It's the Grant show. This has been sensational. Absolutely sensational what he's done.
1 of 2. Well, there are some people who left the building with about a minute to go when it looked like it was over. Probably driving home right now, listen to the game on their radio and going, man, what did I do?
Can't believe it.
And a push on August. 2 free throws for Bohannon.
Yeah, smart play by Louisville, trying to take advantage of the size inside of Bohannon, take advantage of his skills. Very limited Notre Dame on that baseline.
That's the 4th on August with Cooley and Knight both out. If August fouls out, Mike Bray would likely turn to Garrett Sherman, who hasn't played tonight. And Louisville hurting itself on the line. They are now 17 out of 29 from the free throw line tonight.
Got to box out. Got to make sure you box out on the line. Now, nobody blocked out. Nobody blocked out, and they paid for it.
Russ Smith with a huge basket.
I mean, it's simple. It's elementary. It's fundamental. You're going to block out on a free throw line.
And it's Louisville ball as Grant turns it over.
What a big sequence that was on a simple, fundamental situation that you work on all the time. Blocking out on the line instead of just going for the ball. Louisville very aggressive there. Comes up with the score.
So the ball in a 1-point lead for the Cardinals early in overtime. And Beachside is called for a foul. Just his first, but more free throws for the Cardinals. This time it's Hancock.
It's amazing. He's been sitting on that sideline. He and Martin, 2 starters out, 1 injured, 1 fouled out.
Jang to the bench. And Van Treese back in. Jang's got 4 fouls. Hancock makes a pair.
He's got a nice stroke, Hancock. Really good rotation. Is there any more magic in him? Grant, any more magic? Try to set a screen for him.
Got the switch. Jumper over Van Treese. In and out. Hancock the rebound.
That baby was almost looked like it was down. They got to come up with some stops here now. Louisville's starting to take command. Subahana's got August playing him with 4-foul backdoor cut.
And a great pass to Van Treese. They'll bring it back out. Still got time. Smith. Loose ball to Connaughton. Connaughton at the other end. Got it!
Tough crowd. Tough crowd. Fierce competitor, baseball player as well. A pitcher drafted by the Astros. Here he is with a drive. He's normally a jump shooter. There he is driving to the goal. Gets fouled. The old-fashioned 3.
Van Treese the foul. He goes back to the bench. Jang is back in, and Connaughton looking to tie it.
You know, we always talk about the eye test. You look at the team and you say, gee whiz, they're really good. You look at the eye test of Notre Dame and you say simply, how are they battling up in the upper echelon of the Big East? Really, that's a tribute to Mike Bray. Limited athletically, playing with a lot of passion, intensity now. The crowd is into it. Subahana wants the ball down inside, take advantage. That's a smart play. That's a smart play.
He's had a big night.
Oh, he's a really skilled player in the post.
17 and 10 for the sophomore. Cardinals by 2. Grant. August!
August with the jab. Great look created off the penetration of Grant. Help to Grant, layup. His offensive explosion allowed Louisville to try to give help on him.
The first 39 minutes of this game gave no indication of what was to come at the end of regulation and now here into overtime.
Well, this is basketball now. This is what you love. Teams playing at a better pace. Playing a lot of intensity.
Jang's got a mismatch with Connaughton. Triple teamed, quadruple teamed, and it's a held ball, and it's going to the Irish.
Well, they earned it right there. I hate that rule. The alternate possession rule drives me bananas. I haven't screamed about it as much this year, but you get to a crucial situation like here.
Rick Pitino's upset with his players. He's hollering out what he wants them to do on defense, and now they're getting up and going to press.
They're going to try to clear out, put the ball in Grant's hands and clear out. Let him bring it up.
Grant with 19. Looked like he had a shot. Passed it up. Connaughton misses the 3. Oh, and Grant is called for the foul. Smith really created the contact, and Jaron Grant has fouled out of the game.
Wow. But I mean, he's got to know the situation, Joe. You got 4 fouls. You're 60 feet from the goal. Why are you riding on the shoulders of a guy? Too valuable to the team.
Garrick Sherman will check in for the first time tonight as Grant looked like he thought about reaching in and then thought better of it.
As soon as you put the hand there, the whistle's going to be blown. You got 4 fouls. Your kid goes to Notre Dame. You're obviously very bright. You got to know time, situation, score. I've said it. I said it on game day. Kids play. They don't realize sometimes and think about this situation.
So 3 Notre Dame starters have fouled out of the game.
He was terrific to be able to get them back into overtime. His performance was absolutely magnificent. Good free throw shooter. That's a big plus to a club. You are a star tonight, Mr. Grant. You are a star tonight.
Blackshear in for Louisville, and Jang will sit down.
Blackshear's really been quiet all night.
Smallest lineup that Rick Pitino's had in there right now, with Bohannon really at the 5. But the only big in the game for Notre Dame is Garrick Sherman, who just checked in. Forgive me, August is in the game as well. And Mike Bray is going to use the timeout. We'll step aside for a moment. Don't go away. You don't know what you might miss in this one. Now, the luck of the Irish certainly may have been in the house tonight as Jaron Grant went wild at the end of regulation. Scored 12 points in the last minute to force overtime here tonight. They played a double overtime game in Louisville last year. Notre Dame was down 7 with 5 minutes to go. Eric Atkins hit a 3 to send the game to OT. Both teams had a chance to win it in the first overtime, but didn't. You just saw an Atkins basket in second overtime that gave the Irish the lead and eventually the win, including tonight. This is now 5 of the last 6, 8 of the last 13 between the two that have gone to overtime.
Amazing. That performance by Grant was as good as I've seen in many a year.
But he's fouled out, and Cooley's fouled out, and Knight's fouled out. So Mike Bray's got a lineup in there that he probably hasn't used at any point this season.
Probably hasn't even used it in practice.
Yeah. Sherman, August, Connaughton, Beachside, Atkins.
Rick Pitino turning up the press, full court.
Into the steady hands of Atkins. Notre Dame down 2, less than 2 minutes to go.
Let's see if they can get a shot from Beachside. He's got size over Smith. Smith guarding him.
Connaughton with a drive. Forces it up and draws the foul.
Tell you one thing, he's attacking the rim. Instead of shooting jump shots, he's attacking the rim, and it's really paying off for him. Now he's going to go to the free throw line.
Blackshear, I believe. And it's his 4th.
Could tie this game up. Convert these free throws. That's Connaughton with the drive for the goal. Splits the defense. Draws contact.
Four Louisville players now with 4 fouls, Dick, one of whom, Jang, is coming in only for offense right now. Even though he's a great defensive player, Rick Pitino doesn't want to risk losing him, so he's actually bringing him in for offensive purposes.
You know, one thing, though, when you look at Louisville's one of the deepest teams in America. I mean, we haven't really seen play out of Howell and those guys, and they're all good players and got a lot of quality minutes this year.
Tied again.
They're going to the zone. Coming out of the man-to-man, rotated to the zone. Have to take away the one-on-one ability of Behannon in the zone. They'll find him, though.
Hancock for 3. Way off. Shot clock doesn't reset. Louisville's got it back. Hancock again. Short this time.
He's not bashful at all, man. He's not bashful at all. Irish have a chance to take the lead. I would love to see Beachside get some touches.
Atkins probing. Final minute of first overtime. Who knows if we'll have more the way this one is going. Atkins, the miss, got it back. The shot clock resets. And a timeout for Mike Bray. Last one for Notre Dame.
It's amazing to think that they could be in this scenario. Tied, going down the stretch here in overtime. Cooley on the sideline, Grant on the sideline, Knight on the sideline. Unbelievable.
What would it mean for them having been down and with all the guys who have fouled out? What does it do for you at this point of the season if they can pull off a win here?
Oh, they pull this win off. I mean, you talk about psychological, what a lift. I mean, you talk about building confidence, because Mike was talking to us a little bit about their confidence was a little bit shattered there when they lost that game to Syracuse, got blown out by Georgetown. I mean, this would be a monster if they can steal this win.
Remember, Louisville had 1 turnover in the final minute. That gave Notre Dame 1 basket, but other than that, it was just Jaron Grant driving the ball up the court and hitting ridiculous threes.
Just absolutely got everybody out of the way, put the ball in his hands, and it became a one-dimensional offense. Mr. Grant, just do your thing. And he did it. It's a shame, really, that he's on the sideline with 5.
31 on the shot clock, 44 on the game clock. No timeouts for Notre Dame. Connaughton to inbound.
See, bottom line is Louisville's going to get the ball last. Trying to spread the court. They want to keep it in the veterans' hands. Atkins has good driving ability. I mean, it's got to be Connaughton or Beachside scorers, and the other guy's got to go to the offensive boards.
10 to shoot.
He's looking to drive.
Gets inside, rejected, and out of bounds. Smith stepped out of bounds before he got the ball. Now, Rick Pitino saying shot clock violation, but it isn't. It's a mistake on the clock. It's a mistake. Remember, it was 44 on the game clock and 31 on the shot clock. So the shot clock should not have gone off till it went to 13. They made a mistake. They made a mistake, and turn the shot clock off as if Louisville had possession, which they never did. Look at the shot clock.
You're good at math, man. You're good at math.
The shot clock was reset for some reason when Smith got the ball, and it should not have been.
Reset.
Yeah, Notre Dame should get the ball back with 2 or 3, 2 point something left on the shot clock. John Gaffney, the official, coming over to us and telling us they are confirming whether there was a shot clock error, which is one of the things you can go to the monitor for, and I think they'll find out pretty quickly there was an error.
They'll get the ball with like 2 seconds.
Yeah. So right there, 15.5, 15.6 maybe. They might not touch the game clock, but the Irish should get the ball back with about 2.5 seconds on the shot clock. And this is one of those times where you appreciate the use of the monitor. Even though it lengthens the game, you got to get it right, and they'll get it right here.
Well, especially you got to get it right in a scenario like this. Yeah. You've got here the game at stake. It's a lot at stake. One little possession could change the whole complexion of the game.
And Rick Pitino's waiting for the call here. I think the Irish feel pretty good about the fact they're going to get the ball back. And now Ed Corbett says 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Trying to explain to Rick Pitino. No argument from Rick Pitino.
Ed Corbett's one of the best.
Yeah.
He really is one of the best.
This has not been an easy game to officiate.
No, not at all. Most of them aren't.
So it's going to be Notre Dame ball, inbounding it from a difficult spot, deep in the corner.
But remember, the clock doesn't start until the ball touches, so you can get yourself a good shot with 3 on the clock.
But they might just have trouble getting the ball in, and they don't have timeouts. Irish ball, the PA announcer says, everybody goes wild. And now how much time? They're putting 3 on the shot clock.
They're going to try to flash Atkins to the ball.
What a crazy game this turned into.
They're going to try to run Atkins off the screen.
Connaughton's going to attempt to inbound it.
No, steps out to the big guy.
Sherman.
Are you kidding me?
They had no choice, and now it's a shot clock violation.
No option. None whatsoever. Now they're going to lock it up defensively and not really worry about that. And watch for the missed shot.
Behannon just checked back in. Rick Pitino's got a timeout, but he's not going to use it. Here we go. Will Smith take it himself? Down to 5 seconds here. Down to 3. He launches. And we're going double overtime. And Russ Smith and Rick Pitino are looking at each other. Pitino's yelling at him, like, what were you doing there?
He's furious. He cannot believe the shot they got because there was no pressure. There was no defensive pressure whatsoever. So you had the opportunity basically to run a good play and get your shot.
We'll step aside. Double overtime on the way. Going double overtime. Now here in South Bend, tied at 68 after a strange last possession by Louisville, where Russ Smith, the seconds ticking away, didn't show a lot of urgency. Almost looked like he didn't know what the play was supposed to be. It took about a 27-footer that he missed, and here we go into double overtime.
See, he gets back again to what I said about time, situation, understanding what's going on. I mean, that was really a bad play there for a veteran guard.
3 Notre Dame players have fouled out. 4 Louisville players have 4 fouls. Atkins with a big man on him, trying to drive by Behannon, but he turns it over.
I mean, talent-wise right now, it's a mismatch on the floor in terms of pure talent. But when you add in hustle, you add in emotion and passion. See, right now they're zoning. A little limited athletically to be able to match them up man-to-man. So he's got to go to the zone.
Behannon from the elbow, the kick to the corner. Smith trying to redeem himself, misses the shot. And Sherman, who did not enter the game until overtime, comes down with a rebound.
Well, good inside position there. Real good position.
2-3 zone Louisville. If you weren't with us, Jeremy Grant scored 12 points in the last 47 seconds of regulation to force overtime. He has since fouled out, along with Jack Cooley and Tom Knight.
Nice pass over the top of the trap.
Connaughton with a reverse.
Nice
Foul for Sherman.
Hey, why doesn't Sherman get some minutes? Why doesn't he get some minutes? He had great minutes when we had him against Kentucky. Made a big play right there.
Irish by 2.
They're sitting in that zone.
Smith will drive it this time. Miss it. Jang with a follow. Ties it up.
Nice play by Jang with the offensive rebound.
Boy, you got some guys giving everything they've got. Atkins has only been out for a few seconds. Grant played 39 minutes before fouling out. And 4 Louisville players have played at least 38 minutes as of right now.
See their options right now. Connaughton, he's something that can score. B-Shot can score.
Siva fouls Sherman.
They're limited inside offensively. There's the drive by Connaughton. Now watch the tip in. Great position right there by Sherman. Transfer, came out of Michigan State. There's Jang with the spin. Return, the offensive rebound, and a conversion.
Sherman is 73% free throw shooter on the season. Did not look like it there.
Well, you know, kids really have not got a chance to get loose. Come right off that bench.
Missed them both. 3 minutes to go. Double overtime. Tie game.
Zone defense 2-3. Looking to step up that foul line area.
Hancock.
I mean, he is absolutely.
He's firing.
And he's letting him fly.
He's 5 for 14 tonight. Smith stays in front of Atkins. Another screen by August. They got the switch.
Oh, August wanted the ball. A little screen and roll.
Now Bohannon rotates over onto August, so they didn't take advantage, although Jang still on Atkins. Atkins goes by him, tries to.
He should not have stopped.
Yep. Connaughton got tripped, it looked like, and a foul is called.
I'll tell you one thing, Connaughton has really stepped up his offensive game here in the overtime.
Remember, spraining his ankle near the end of the first half. And Siva becomes the first Louisville player to foul out.
I haven't seen a game like this in years.
Crazy.
This is absolutely wacky, man. It is wacky. This guy's coaching his heart out here. Looked like he had this game put away. Siva did not have a great game here tonight at all. Connaughton has really elevated his game. With Grant on the sideline, he's attacking the rim.
Siva just 2 points in the game tonight, 1 for 6 from the floor. Connaughton 2 free throws.
In a loss against Georgetown, he had 0. He only played 23 minutes. Had a foul trouble. And I love Peyton Siva. He's a tough kid with the ball in his hands.
Remember what Mike Bray said to Sam Ponder just before halftime about Connaughton. Give him a couple of Advil. He'll be good to go in the second half.
He's been good to go here. He has taken over for Grant.
How about 15 and 10, Dick?
Unbelievable.
How about 15 and 10?
And they go right back in a 2-3 zone. Nothing flashy. So you don't want to stop that dribble up on top. Want to attack in the gap.
Smith the kick. Ware knocks it down. Just came in for Siva, and he hits a 3.
That was created off attacking the gap by Smith up on top. He got 2 guys to play him. He kicked it out with the zigzag pass, and Ware knocked it down. 1
point lead, Louisville. Connaughton. Sherman gives it up. Gets it back. Over Jang. No. Jang the rebound.
Had a nice little move inside there. Just didn't convert.
Rick Pitino's gotten a lot of minutes out of Gorgie Jang with 4 fouls as Louisville walks it up the court. And we'll call a timeout. Well, sometimes in games like these, unlikely heroes emerge. Maybe Kevin Ware is that guy.
Tell you what, not normally a great shooter. In fact, Rick told us today he's really an athlete, not really a long-range shooter. And there he is knocking down a trifecta.
If you haven't been with us for the entire game, or at least the crazy part of the game, let's go back to the end of regulation. The Irish looked done, absolutely done. Jaron Grant hit 3 threes, then drove, scored, was fouled, and hit it to tie it up and send it to overtime. And then Russ Smith, for reasons unknown, just never got anything going in the last seconds of overtime. Rick Pitino furious as he missed a long 3, and here we are in double overtime. You got anywhere to go tonight?
I mean, it's unbelievable. We might be here all night long. I hope you don't have a flight early.
I'm good. We can go. We can go.
I'm going to tell you, this is unreal. What Grant did in 42 seconds, 12 points out of nowhere. I mean, the team was struggling, couldn't score, and then all of a sudden, bam, 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 and then a drive, and gets fouled on a drive. Too bad the kid is on the sideline.
Louisville's got the ball and a 1-point lead and the arrow, but no Siva with 1:24 to go. So the decision maker, for better or for worse, Dick, the primary decision maker is going to be Russ Smith.
Well, I'll tell you, Russ Smith made a great decision in the last possession. Yes. The way he attacked the zone, you want to go after those 2 guys up on top, force both to play it, kick it to the wing, and that's what he did to Weir. Louisville's 4 for 20 shooting the 3.
Neither team has shot well the entire night, with the exception of that last minute where Jaron Grant went off. You can see they haven't shot the 3 well. And Louisville really could have put this game away at the free throw line. They had some big misses down the stretch in regulation.
You know, you're Mike Bray now. You don't want a moral victory. You don't want to be able to walk in there and talk about how proud, the effort, all that jazz. You want to get this win. This is on your home floor. You don't want to talk about we're short-handed. Let's play. That's what he's telling the kids. Let's play and let's get this W.
Cardinals ball.
Remember this, the Cardinals are the best in the Big East since they arrived away from home. They have 35 road victories in his tenure since they played in the Big East. On the other side, Notre Dame has the best home record in the Big East.
Although they have lost here twice this season, very unusual for them. Bohannon trying to back down Sherman. Good D. Irish ball.
Excellent defense right there. Good rebounding position. Just another day at the office. Notre Dame and Louisville. 4 of the last 5 have been overtime, double overtime, and now it's 5 out of 6. Sherman's a screener out there.
Beachside quiet. Recently hit some big shots early in the second half, trying to take Hancock. 10 to shoot. 6 to shoot.
Picked up his dribble.
And Mike Bray will try to salvage the possession with a timeout.
Yeah, he's not happy with that possession. Picking up your dribble is a no-no right there.
We were in Mike Bray's office before the game talking about the Michigan-Wisconsin game, and Mike Bray said something like, you know, coaching, how it ages you, and he turned to you and he said, you know, you got out of it. Aren't you lucky? You got out of it.
He said you got a great job.
Yeah.
He's right about that. No doubt about it.
I think Mike Bray and Rick Pitino have both aged a few years here tonight.
I'll tell you one thing, it's a tough way to make a living. One guy's going to leave here on cloud 9, and the other guy's going to feel miserable.
4 seconds on the shot clock. What are you looking for?
Well, it's really a situation. I get the ball in B-Shot's hand and go one move and shoot it. I don't think he gets enough touches right here the last 3-4 minutes. Get a screen from Sherman, get the ball in B-Shot's hands. He's a good one-on-one player. He was a prolific scorer on a high school level in St. Louis.
Connaughton to inbound. He's had a big night. August. Jump hook, no. Didn't hit the rim. They're going to play on. Cardinal ball. And now with the shot clock turned off, they have to foul. And it's Russ Smith, a good free throw shooter, who is going to head to the line.
See, that's a big strength of Louisville, the ability to shoot free throws. And especially this guy right here.
This is exactly the guy, with Siva having fouled out, that Rick Pitino would choose to put on the line.
He's 8 for 10 tonight. That's his percentage, 80%.
Even if he makes the next one, though, still a 1-possession game. No timeouts for the Irish.
Too much time to think about the 3, though. You're not going to think 3 here. You can get a deuce if you can't attack the rim.
Atkins. Big screen by Sherman, leveled Bohannon. Beachside might take it. Hits it!
There's Mr. Beachside. Mr. Beachside can flat out shoot it. I'd get that kid more touches, man. Now you got to play some defense. They come out of the man, they go zone.
Here we go again with Smith, and again the clock running down.
There's no blockouts here, so you're going to watch you offensive rebound.
Triple overtime.
Hey, I gotta go to Notre Dame. Oh, run here.
Hustle, hustle. Mike Bray can't stop smiling at the way this is going. Rick Pitino had a water bottle or something in his hand, and when Beachside made the shot, he literally threw it about 50 feet up in the air at his bench.
Look at Beachside. He's just got that nose we talked about, a scorer. An amazing night here, triple overtime. Look at his diaper dandy. He was diaper dandy of the week.
Yeah, in the Big East. Look at Rick Pitino.
Can't believe it. Can't believe it. He's coached a lot of games. Wow.
If somebody had said to you earlier today there would be a crazier game than the Michigan-Wisconsin game today,
no
you would
way.
never believe them.
Wow.
Going to third overtime in South Bend. I'll tell you, Mike Bray may be aging, but he's smiling too.
He really is.
Yep.
He's so proud, really. I mean, this game, he cannot believe he's where he's at.
Look at Garrett Sherman smiling. I mean, they can't believe it with how far they were down in the last minute of regulation and all the guys who have fouled out. It's like they're playing with house money right here by extending this game. Knight's out, Cooley's out, Grant's out, Martin's hurt. And they're still going. Siva out for the Cardinals. And there's no smiling on that Louisville bench. Irish ball.
Shot selection. Want to make sure you get good shots now.
I keep thinking about the people who drove out of here who left at the end of regulation to beat traffic and have missed all this.
Some a little fatigue out there too for some of these guys.
Steal by Bohannon.
Bad pass. Had no angle to make that pass to the post.
Siva out. Smith with the ball in his hands.
See, you want to attack those front two. You want to get both to try to attack the ball and have an open guy in a wing. And from the wing, you can dump it to the post. You don't want to go side to side with the basketball because the zone easily rotates.
Hancock, not this time. 5 for 15 now. Bohannon with a putback.
That's a big-time offensive rebound. He's got touch. He's got stardom on him. He really does.
What a night Shane Bohannon has had. 19 points and 12 rebounds.
Got Smith on Beachside. Beachside's got size. He's got to take him off the bounce. He wants to catch, square, and shoot it.
Atkins the drive. Pulls it back out. He has Jang on him on a switch. Sherman inside, fouled by Ware, and Sherman will shoot a couple.
He missed his last time he was there. He missed both free throws. Watch this offensive rebound by Bohannon. Great hands, snatches it, squares up right away. Good rotation.
Remember, Sherman missed a couple last time he was at the line. Not this time.
Nice rotation. I don't understand why he doesn't get some minutes. There's other things we don't know.
Playing a lot earlier in the season, lost his minutes as Tom Knight got him. Knight's fouled out. Sherman didn't touch the floor till first overtime, and he's become one of the central figures.
Had a nice tip in, a couple rebounds. There's that 2-3 zone.
Bohannon again. Rebound, Connaughton. What a night he's had.
I'll tell you, talking about toughness, talking about tenacity. Connaughton really equates to that.
And at this point, don't you think it becomes as much about mental toughness as physical toughness?
Absolutely. Right? See, right now, Connaughton's got Hancock on him.
Atkins. What a move!
Terrific move. Kept his foot on the ground. I thought he was going to walk there. He looked lost as he picked up his dribble. I mean, the Irish up 2 right now. This house should be rocking, man. Rocking. And it is. They jump with the joy, the students on the other end. What a gutty performance, huh? What a gutty performance.
Hancock just keeps on shooting, and he knocks down about a 25-footer.
It's amazing.
Wow.
How he just lets him fly.
1-point lead, Cardinals. 2-3 zone Louisville. These two teams are going to meet again on the final weekend of the regular season to the Young Center in Louisville. They're in overtime for the 5th time in the last 6 meetings. Sherman to the jump hook. Yes!
Hey, Sherman, where you been, man? Where has Sherman been? What brain? I mean, get him in a rotation. Get him in a rotation.
That's the 21st lead change of the game.
I think Sherman's sending a message.
Smith almost lost it. Ware bails him out.
Tell you one thing, he's amazing. Makes a lot of great things happen, Smith. But I can see where I'd give a coach a heart attack.
Ware through the hands of Bohannon.
Threw the ball too hard, man. Threw it too hard. Just dropped a little bounce pass.
Well, Rick Pitino's been on his team all night long. He has not been happy. They had this game locked up for all intents and purposes in the last minute of regulation.
Why he works that sideline. He's such a tactician. Coaches his heart out.
Atkins.
You know, Atkins has done a really great job getting them into the offensive flow, showing poise.
Solid, steady. Now the Irish turn it over. He was looking for Sherman on the roll. Smith to Bohannon, and Louisville's back on top.
That was a big-time fast break. Great transition play right there by Louisville. Nice play, 2-man game, Bohannon and Smith. Terrific.
Into the final minute, and Mike Bray will use a timeout. Each team getting 1 new timeout each overtime. Louisville's got an extra one. They still got 2. Mike Bray had one, and he just used it. Bohannon to make it up for the missed pass with a reverse as he's put together a huge night here tonight.
He's a good-looking player. Good-looking player. That's Louisville at their best when they're in transition, getting numbers, good execution the way he ran the 45-degree angle on a cut to the goal.
Another look at some of the craziness that got us to this point of the game. Jeremy Grant, quiet all night, scored 12 points in the last 47 seconds.
And that was the easiest one.
Yeah.
Right there,
3 threes and then a 3-point play. Then in overtime, Russ Smith, with the seconds ticking away, wound up taking about a 28-footer, missed it. On the double overtime, Rick Pitino saying, what are you doing? And at the end of second overtime, Cam Beachheim, the freshman, ties it with a 3.
And Rick Pitino throws the bottle up in the air.
He can't believe it. Louisville had a shot, missed a shot. The Irish got the rebound. And here we are in triple overtime.
Oh, look at this here. Oh, how beautiful. How beautiful. It's a long, long night.
She couldn't quite make it to the stroke of midnight at the end of third overtime.
Hey, it's past my bedtime. I can tell you that, man. Gotta go to Mass tomorrow. I hope I can make it.
Look at Mike Bray. He's still clapping and smiling.
He's making the kids feel really good. He wants to let them know how proud he is, really.
He wants it just as badly as Rick Pitino, but the intensity has been a notch higher, and at times the anger has been a lot higher for Rick Pitino than it has been for Mike Bray, given the way that Notre Dame rallied in miraculous fashion to force overtime.
Well, because really the expectations, especially with Cooley on the sideline, also with the fact that Grant on the sideline, I can hear right there, we're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. Be positive.
Notre Dame ball.
This a classic? Is this a classic?
This is great.
Wow.
Siva's fouled out. Cooley, Knight, and Grant have fouled out for Notre Dame.
I got a question for you. Every Sunday they have the Dickie V game of the week. What game do you pick? You got Ohio State, Michigan, you got Wisconsin game, or this game? What game should be the game?
If it goes fourth overtime, you got to go with this one.
What about 3? Three's
You
not
could
good
still
enough.
go with this one. That Michigan-Wisconsin game was wild today. The Badgers winning in overtime after a miraculous shot by Ben Brust. Is there another miracle in the house here tonight for Notre Dame? After they pulled one off at the end of regulation. Sherman spinning, left hand, yes!
Are you serious? What is this guy doing? He has been on the pine, man. He's been on the pine. Michigan State transferred, didn't get PT there. Now not getting PT here. Unbelievable, Danny Sherman.
Shot clock turned off. Smith. Bohannon's been the go-to guy. And Sherman is called for the foul.
Bohannon really created that. Smart going to Bohannon.
Just the first on Sherman. Meanwhile, he's got 8 points and didn't enter the game until overtime. Bohannon at the line, 55%.
And preparing for the game, he goes to the free throw line more than anybody on Louisville in the last 2 minutes of close games. And he's been a 50% shooter in that sequence. There was an article in the Louisville paper about that.
Ties it up.
That's what he did right there, 50%.
No timeouts for Notre Dame and a chance to win it.
Chance to win the game. They didn't have this opportunity before, Dan. It's in their hands right now.
Atkins.
Oh, he got tripped.
Louisville battling for it. It's a held ball, and it's going to go to the Cardinals. On the alternating possession on the arrow, Louisville's got the ball.
Alternate possession. That is unbelievable. At least they should have a rule where in the last 5 minutes of a game, you throw the ball up and you make people have to utilize some strategy instead of just alternate on a possession of an arrow.
Timeout. Rick Pitino. Another look at Atkins. Stumbling out of control, lost the ball.
I thought he got bumped, but it's one of those really tough to see.
Connaughton and Jang battling for it. Ware reached in. And at this point of this kind of a game, not a ton of contact. The refs let him play on. And the arrow gives it to Louisville.
See, Connaughton makes the play, dives on the floor, gets the jump ball, and then the arrow goes the other way. I just cannot tolerate that rule. I've hated it for years. Where you penalize a good defensive effort bothers me. There's no way that should happen. And how do people on the rules committee, what's the justification for it? I don't understand.
The Cardinals had a chance to win at the end of first overtime and second overtime. They've got the ball again here at the end of third overtime. They don't have a lot of time to mess around.
They don't have a lot of time, but there is ample time to be able to get a decent shot. There really is with 3.7 seconds. Could we be going to a fourth overtime?
It's a distinct possibility, my friend.
I'm going to send the bill in for doing another half.
Smith.
Look at Mike Gray on the court. Oh, is he proud, though?
No Jang. Smith, Ware, Blackshear, Hancock, Bohannon for Louisville.
They're going to want the ball to Smith because he's so quick with the ball and also so dangerous. And he can fly up the court.
There he goes. Overtime on the way. A pretty decent look for a guy like Russ Smith.
I'm serious, man. Can I run to the bench?
Yeah, go.
I get a chance to get back.
Go. You got to do what you got to do, Richie. Smith. Not even sure he got it off as we look at the replay. Not even sure it would have counted had it gone. And we are going to a fourth overtime in as wild a game as there has been all season. The Cardinals with the last possession at the end of first overtime, second overtime, third overtime. And we keep playing on as we hit midnight here in Indiana in the Eastern time zone. The Irish have played one 4-overtime game under Mike Gray. That was against Georgetown. In 2002, they won that game, and you just start thinking about that 6 overtime game between Connecticut and Syracuse in the Big East tournament a few years ago in New York City. Who knows where this one is headed? Everybody's working overtime. Jeffrey Anderson, one of the officials, worked a double overtime game last year when Notre Dame was at Louisville. Now he's working what is at least going to be a quadruple overtime game here at Purcell Pavilion. And those who have stayed are having the time of their lives. The 1,000 or so maybe who left, with the Irish looking out of it, down by 8 with about 1:20 to go. Aren't they wishing they had made a different decision? The first regular season quadruple overtime game since the one we just mentioned between Georgetown and Notre Dame in 2002. Louisville with the first possession. Siva has fouled out for the Cardinals. Cooley, Grant, and Knight have fouled out for the Irish. And it's been that way for a while. Cooley fouled out with about 6 minutes to go in regulation, and the Irish down. Yet here they are playing in the fourth overtime. Shot clock into single digits. Smith. Bohannon, 2 to shoot. Did not get it off in time. Notre Dame ball.
Great defensive possession right there, Dan. Wow. That's the first of my 34 years.
Never had to go to the bathroom between overtimes before, huh?
Never. And trying to find the one here is unbelievable. Now I'm ready to go another 4 overtimes.
Sherman.
Get B shy. I want to see him get some touches, man. He's got to don't pick up his dribble. That's a no-no.
10 to shoot. Sherman. Another basket.
Hey, Dan, I'm serious when I say this. There has to be some reason why he doesn't get some minutes.
He was getting a lot early in the season.
What did he say, Coach?
Had not played at all 4 of the last 6 games and didn't play tonight until overtime. And he's got 10 points.
Any reasoning?
Jang. Nice feed. And Bohannon ties the game.
Nice feed inside to Bohannon, but he has that great strength.
I think Mike Bray was looking from Zach August as an example, looking for the toughness and the energy and the physical play. But Sherman has come out of nowhere to become a huge factor in this game. Career high points tonight for Shane Bohannon. And Sherman with the foul.
You know, the one thing right now, Sherman's not as fatigued as some of these players. I mean, he was rested there for the whole game until he came in overtime. Here he is right now, going to go to the goal.
Jang trying to draw the charge.
He has some great footwork there for a big guy, too.
Transfer from Michigan State, as you mentioned, just committed his 2nd foul. So Jang is headed to the free throw line, 68% on the season.
He's played a lot of minutes with 4 fouls. He's been able to survive, stay out of getting that 5th. College basketball just never, ever stops to amaze me.
We have 8 players in this game, Dick, who have played at least 40 minutes as of right now. Eric Atkins has played 51. Connaughton's played 47. Bohannon, Jang, and Smith have all played 47 for Louisville.
Wow.
2-point game.
Nice job by Jang going to the line, converting those 2.
3 minutes to go. Atkins needs some help and finds Beachside just in time. And Beachside almost lost it. Now he needs some help. And the Irish scrambling just to hang on to the ball.
The Irish picking up their dribble too often.
Good D. The loose ball goes to August. I think it's Bohannon. And if it is, it's just his 2nd, incredibly enough, after about 47 minutes of action tonight.
August going to the line, made a good 2nd effort there on the flip up to Sherman, which was a little short.
August, a guy who has not played a ton this year. He's 6 for 11 from the free throw line on the season.
His minutes are going to go up now. No question he's going to get a lot more minutes, especially on Martin out.
6'10" freshman. Pretty good looking stroke.
Tell you one thing, it's amazing that this has all happened with Cooley on the sideline. When he went out, they were down 6.
Tied again.
Nice rotation. Good backspin. Good follow through. Here we go again. Will there be a 5th, Mr. Sugar? You can see a little bit.
Hancock. Not this time, but the long rebound winds up in the hands of Smith.
I was going to say, you can see a little bit of the players a little tired now, putting their hands on their knees a little bit.
Well, Rick Pitino yelling at Hancock in the middle of the possession, and that's a rebound Notre Dame had to have. 2 or 3 of their players came together. The ball bounced away. 2 minutes to go. Jang wide open from 17.
Nice play. I tell you, Jang's really improved. He never had that kind of range.
Got to get it in. Mike Bray's been saving that timeout. He gets each overtime for their last possession. Doesn't want to use it. Having to get the ball in. Now they got to get it over. And they do.
Real good defensive player. Very athletic. Very quick. Got him on a bump. Got him on a bump. No doubt about it.
His 4th.
Look at Chang stepping out. Nice little 2-man game right there. He stepped back, knocked down the open shot. Atkins not really a great free throw shooter. Shooting about 67% for the year.
Has played more than anybody else in this game. And he missed the first.
Play your hearts out, and it can come down to a simple thing, the charity stripe. I think the crowd is exhausted. The crowd emotionally is exhausted.
Missed them both.
That really hurts.
Kept alive by Sherman, and then he fouls Smith.
Not the guy you want to foul.
Yeah. You know, one little side note before we forget. Remember the weather causing one of the officials not to be able to make it to this game. So John Gaffney worked the game at Marquette today. They called him in on an emergency basis. So he got a car down from Milwaukee to South Bend. So he worked the game this afternoon, and now he's working this game here tonight.
Game and a half right here. Game and a half. So he's got 2.5 games in one night. So that hurts. You missed the 2 free throws. They go down. A 4-point swing. A 4-point swing in a crucial moment.
Smith so confident at the line.
You know, we talked about it a little bit earlier. We said if it comes down to crunch time, the free throw line with Smith is a big advantage. And there's a perfect example of it.
The Irish have been using a lot of the clock all night long. You need to think about getting something a little bit quicker here.
See, I think Atkins, when you think about fatigue, that's going to play the part.
Beachside is fouled.
See, I'd like to see him drive a little more like he did right there, rather than always look for the 3.
Behannon the foul.
He has the ability to put it on the floor. It's 3 on Behannon.
So the guys who are fouling here in 4th overtime for Louisville are the only guys who can afford to foul and stay in the game. Very good free throw shooter. It was his 3 at the end of, let me get this straight, 2nd overtime?
Yeah.
That kept this game going.
With his scoring ability to shoot the 3, he starts attacking off the bounce. He's going to become a special player here in Notre Dame. Get a little stronger physically. They got to come up with a defensive stop here. They rotate to man-to-man out of the zone.
Behannon. What a night.
He's been big. They've gone to him in crucial situations, and he has delivered.
A career-high 26 points to go with 13 rebounds for Shane Behannon.
Needless to say, this possession is big as it all night long for Notre Dame.
Atkins, Connaughton, Atkins forces it up. Sherman has it and hits again.
That's just pure guts right there. What a hustle play. What a hustle play.
Shot clock turned off. They'd rather not foul Smith, but they got to stop him. They've got it.
Looking out of control, Smith. And here we go again.
And again, Mike Bray will use a timeout. Again, you can't believe what you're seeing. The putback by Sherman. Smith driving the length of the court, taking a tough shot, didn't hit it, wasn't fouled. And look at Rick Pitino in the face of Russ Smith.
He sees that every day in practice, he says, out of him. But I'm going to tell you, that hustle play by Sherman was unbelievable. Look at him right here, battling and battling. Here's a kid that instead of pounding and sulking, sitting on a pine, not playing. Look at Smith now, totally out of control. But you know what? You got to live with it. He can make a little pass to Behannon had a layup.
Yep.
Behannon had a layup.
He had wear too.
If he communicated and said, hey, on the left, dropped a little bounce pass. When they look at that film, he had his head down. When you dribble a basketball, you want that head up, youngsters. But let me tell you, I want to compliment Sherman. I thought his effort in that sequence was unbelievable.
12 points and 5 rebounds, 3 of them at the offensive end in 17 minutes. End of regulation. Jeremy Grant goes nuts. 12 points in the last minute to tie it. End of first overtime. Russ Smith inexplicably never gets them going in the offense. Siva had fouled out, and Smith misses a long 3. End of second overtime. Cam Beachside with about 17 seconds left hits a 3. Excuse me, only about 5 seconds left, forgive me. And then Louisville can't score. End of third overtime. This shot won't go down for Smith. The follow is no good.
Unbelievable.
This is Smith at the end of third overtime. The shot would not have counted even had it gone. And then here in fourth overtime, Smith drives, isn't fouled. Notre Dame gets the rebound, and they've got the ball back. In regulation, first, second, and third overtime. In each of those 4 periods, Louisville had the ball at the end. This is the first time, and who knows what will happen. Maybe they'll go back to Louisville, but this is the first time, really, where it looks like Notre Dame might get the final shot, but it's not tied. They're down by 2.
Down 2. I would right now think about a drive from out of Beachside or out of Connaughton. Let them attack the basket, and then have Sherman and August go to the glass for the offensive rebound. You got plenty of time on that clock. You want to make sure you give yourself an opportunity, though, for the offensive rebound. So you're not going to take it to the last second.
Beachside, even though he's a freshman, certainly confident enough to get the last look, if that's what Mike Bray wants.
Yeah, he were Connaughton off the bounce, attacking the rim.
No timeouts, down by 2. Shot clock turned off.
They're trying to get it to Beachside.
Atkins. Saved by August.
Oh!
Sherman knocked it in again.
Sherman.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
here come the Cardinals. Smith lost it. And we're going to a 5th overtime.
Are you serious? Are you serious? 5 overtimes. Did they go 6 in the Big East tournament 2 years ago?
Syracuse and Connecticut.
5 overtimes.
Look at Mike Bray.
Patino fighting. Look at the referees. Look at the referees. Look at the referees.
Nobody can believe it. This is now officially the longest game in Notre Dame history, and we have to see that last basket by Sherman. I mean, Atkins lost the ball, just flat out lost the ball. Look at the save by August. He takes a very tough shot. Sherman once, and Sherman just got his hand on the ball and it happened to go in.
After the game, I'm going to tell Mr. Brown, how could you not have that kid in your rotation? At least play 10, 12 minutes a night. You told me 4 out of the last 6 games.
He hasn't played at all.
Didn't play at all. Not injured.
I'll tell you, they got to get a leprechaun suit in a triple XL and put it on Garrett Sherman after what he's done here tonight. This has been absolutely incredible.
Incredible.
14 points and 6 rebounds, and he didn't see the court until overtime.
You know, I'm thinking back in my 34 years, the most incredible game I've ever been part of. I mean, really, think about it. I'd say the best, but the most incredible.
93-93 going into fifth overtime. Here's Sam Ponder.
Dan, Notre Dame spent most of that huddle laughing, high-fiving, and rejoicing, almost like they won the game. I think everybody here is still in shock that we're in this position right now. But one thing I specifically noticed with all the guys that have fouled out, all the leaders, the guys they named as leaders during shoot-around today, are on the bench. And Garrick Sherman, during that timeout, jokingly said, "This is my team. Look for him to have a big game right here."
Notre Dame ball, and he certainly has had a big game, Sam. Thank you. As we go to the fifth overtime, Jaron Grant, Jack Cooley, Tom Knight, Peyton Siva have been out of this game forever. Time after time, the Irish have come back. And every time at the end of a period, either regulation or the 4 overtimes, Louisville's had the last look. Beachside knows. Smith the rebound. Jang. And a good decision not to force anything. Looking underneath, Behannon, yes, as he continues to add to his totals.
They can't handle him inside. He's a mismatch down inside. Very physical, very strong, good touch.
Reminiscent of the 6 overtime game between Syracuse and Connecticut in the Big East tournament some years ago. Sherman stepped out of bounds.
I think got a foul first. Got a foul. He just stepped out of bounds.
You're right. Forgive me. They did. And it's Jang who was fouled out. My mistake.
Got him with a little kick.
A big loss for Louisville. Stephen Van Treese will take his place.
Rick Pitino can scream all he wants, all about Smith. Damn deep he loves that kid. Because that kid has made plays for them throughout his career that they would not have been in a position where they went to the Final Four last year without him.
The fatigue, the key players, the guys who have been in there for most of the night have to be feeling. Yeah, it has to be off the charts. Guys like Atkins, Connaughton. On the other side, Behannon, Smith. Atkins has played 56 minutes. 1 of 2 for Sherman.
See what they do here defensively, going to man. Jang Gout's a big plus for Notre Dame. Behannon's the guy that got to try to find an answer for it.
Left hand this time.
Taking over, man.
30 for Behannon.
Taking over. He is so skilled down in that low post. So efficient.
Previous career high for Behannon was 23. He's got 30 tonight. Atkins. August didn't want to take a shot. Connaughton. Now August gets closer and lays it in.
I'm telling you, he's been very impressive as well. He has really been impressive, August. I mean, to find some players here.
I would bet anything this group Mike Bray has on the court never played together as a unit before tonight. Connaughton with a rebound over the back of Van Treese.
He's done a great job rebounding tonight. Mr. Hancock keeps flying him up.
15 points, 12 rebounds for Connaughton. Screened by Sherman. Pull up by Atkins off the back of the iron. Connaughton another rebound.
He's got a nose for the ball. Nose for the ball and a mentality that he wants the ball.
I'll tell you, the difference in the body language between the two coaches and benches has been startling tonight. Sherman, left hand.
Hey, Dan. I'm telling you, the kid is showing all kinds of moves inside.
Beachside called for a foul.
I sit here stunned to know he didn't play 1 minute in 4 out of 6 games. I believe you. You'd have to go get the stat sheet. I believe you. I'm just totally shocked. Look at this move here with the left hand. Tom Izzo's watching some. What is this guy doing?
Sherman had 22 back in November against Monmouth, 18 against GW, 3 other double-figure games. And as mentioned, didn't play in 4 of the last 6 games. Van Treese misses a free throw.
He's earning playing time now.
You know what? Even with his mouth guard in, you could read Sherman's lips there. He really wants him to get this rebound. Tie game.
Not 6. It won't be 6, will it?
March 12th, 2009. Syracuse, UConn at the Garden wins 6.
Sherman knows playing the star right there now. He's giving signals.
He's got wear
Look at the mismatch. Look at the mismatch.
Connaughton. Atkins. Floater. Yes.
Atkins playing his heart out. He's played over 56 minutes.
Up around 58 right now. 2 minutes to go. 100-98. Timeout Louisville.
This has to be, if they were to win this game, Mike Brey's kid, probably the greatest win that he has had so far in his career. As Atkins with the drive, the little floater, ball rolls in.
Atkins is only 4 for 18. But let's look at it another way as well. In 58 minutes, the point guard has 3 turnovers against Louisville. That's pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive.
Mike Brey's jacket is gone. Rick Pitino got rid of his an overtime ago. An incredible game. It bears repeating again. Jaron Grant, who had an off night, scored 12 points in the last 47 seconds of regulation. They're going nuts to force overtime. The end of overtime, Russ Smith never got him going. Took a 28-footer and missed it. Rick Pitino wondering what's going on. Second overtime, Cam Beachshot buries a 3 to tie the game. Russ Smith with a drive and a miss, and the foul no good. Going to third overtime. Again, Louisville with a chance. Smith driving the length of the court. Didn't look like he got it off in time. Missed it. So either way, going to fourth overtime. Atkins loses it. August puts up a prayer. Sherman's prayer is answered. As he scores yet another basket. Longest regular season game in a Big East history against Syracuse. UConn went 6 overtimes in the Big East Championship in New York in 2009. We have 1:59 to go in 5th overtime. Louisville ball, Louisville arrow, Irish lead by 2.
You know, it's amazing. I was looking at some of the stats here. You look at, for example, we watch Hancock shooting the ball. He's 4 for 13 shooting threes. Russell Smith is 0 for 5 shooting threes. Where he's been a real plus, he's 12 for 14 on a free throw line. But Hannon has been an absolute thoroughbred tonight. 13 for 20. He's got 13 rebounds. He's got 30 points.
To recap, Siva and Jeng have fouled out for Louisville. Cooley, Grant, and Knight have fouled out for Notre Dame.
And a star was born here in Sherman. Man to man.
Hancock gets it to go, and it's tied again.
Great drive by Hancock. The one thing about him, he's going to attack and attack and attack. He's never going to back away.
It was 60-60 at the end of regulation. It's now 100 apiece.
John, you don't get a moving screen, Sherman.
Atkins splits the defense and lays it in.
Terrific drive by Atkins. A veteran guard stepping up. His buddy on the sideline, Grant. He's elevated his game. Mike Brey is cheering like mad. Oh, what a gutty performance.
Smith driving. Notre Dame ball.
Irish have a chance here. Minute 4 on the clock. Rick Pitino with a timeout. Here's Smith trying to make something happen. The ball off his knee, goes out of bounds.
And I believe that was Atkins. Yep, Atkins coming over, slapped it away, and off the leg of Smith out of bounds. A good call by the officials again, who have worked as hard as anybody here tonight over the last 3.5 hours.
They've done a solid job. Ed Corbin, guy in chief, really doing a great job. So is Anderson. And I mean, the guy that's worked so many minutes. Gaffney, unbelievable. It's a night you'll always remember as a basketball fan.
You got that right, my friend.
Oh, this was down. It's one you'll always remember. If you want a repeat of this will be the Dickie V Game of the Week tomorrow on ESPNU. You'll get a chance tomorrow to see it.
I would imagine it's going to find its way on a ESPN Classic before long as well.
I never thought there'd be a game ahead of the Wisconsin game.
Connaughton just went to inbound the ball, and before he did, was slapping hands with all the fans down in the student section.
He better wait yet. There's a lot of time on the clock. Louisville's rotating into the zone. You can take some time off that clock. They're going to get the ball back. A big possession if the Irish could score in this possession. The one thing with that zone, there's open lanes to offensive rebound. And Sherman and August have been big on the glass.
And once again, Mike Bray will use a timeout.
I think the officials, Jeff Anderson is having a ball. He is smiling, he's talking to everybody, he's laughing at us. He's having a ball. He wants to go all night long.
And there he is. Are you having a ball?
I'm having a great time. Are you kidding me? It's basketball, man.
Have you, what's the longest game you've ever done before tonight? I assume this is the longest game you've ever done.
Absolutely the longest, no doubt. No doubt. I can't remember one to challenge it. I did a triple overtime once, I remember.
And you know what? We talked about this a long time ago when it didn't seem like it was going to matter. Coming into tonight, 4 of the last 5 games and 7 of the last 12 between these two teams went to overtime.
Or double overtime.
One went double overtime last year. The Irish won it in Louisville. This one's just been nuts. I don't know how else to say it. Atkins stumbling again and draws the foul.
Well, he missed his last 2 free throws, so these are going to be big right now. 37 ticks on the clock. If he makes both, Dan, you got a 2-possession game.
Kevin Ware has fouled out.
He's a solid defensive player. Made a big 3 here tonight.
Wayne Blackshear will come back in. 3rd Louisville player to foul out.
Not happy with the foul right there because they were down on the shot clock. Rick Pitino not happy.
Atkins 67% on the season, 2 for 4 tonight.
Missed his last 2. Remember, this kid has played a lot of minutes, so fatigue can be a factor in shooting free throws.
Wow. Way short.
Yeah, you're not getting nothing out of his legs.
Yeah.
Shoot a free throw, you shoot it with your legs as well as you do with your arm. So he's really right there was an example. Maybe regroup right here. That hurts. He's missed 4 in a row on that free throw line, and I really think that's fatigue.
2-second difference between the game clock and shot clock.
He wants to make something happen. Oh, nice pass.
And Montrezl Harrell just into the game, missed it, got it back, and draws the foul. Now here's a guy with great leaping ability and athleticism, and he's hardly played tonight. So everybody else is fatigued, and he's jumping through the roof. Yeah.
He's got great elevation.
He's only played 9 minutes.
Terrific athlete.
54% though, that's it on the season.
20 for 37. Plus he's been on a bench. If you're Mike Gray, I think he's the guy you'd like to see on that free throw line. You don't want to see Russell Smith on that line. Irish going to get the ball back. On the plus side, if they rebound here.
Wow. Now, if Louisville doesn't get a turnover, they're going to have to foul.
I like what Hancock did. He went over to Howell, tapped him on the back. So, hey, come on, don't worry about it.
And Rick Pitino will use his last timeout. Both teams out of timeouts. Louisville with the arrow. The Irish with the lead in the ball.
Let me ask you this. Irish hold on and win. They are dominant at home. They have absolutely played their hearts out with the cast they have. Does the crowd rush the court?
I think they might. Just out of the sheer joy. You know, the delirious nature of this night.
I've seen too many rushing the courts. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Look at Sherman. I mean, he's talking. You know, he feels like $1 million tonight, especially if they get the win. He will strut on that campus. He'll look at the Golden Dome. He'll look at touchdown Jesus. He'll go down to the grotto, and he'll say, thank you, thank you.
17 points, 6 rebounds for Sherman, who didn't enter the game until overtime.
That's incredible. Incredible.
First thing first, they got to get it in. Sherman has it. Now Atkins. And a foul.
Might not be a bad foul because he has struggled his 4 in a row.
Yep. Bohannon the foul, his 4th. Atkins has missed his last 4.
Comes down to the charity stripe. We always say the free throw line could be the difference maker.
Everybody has been standing here for I don't know how many overtimes.
What about those people that left early? Good conversion. In a 1-possession game, he can ice it here, basically. I shouldn't say ice it because you never know at 19 ticks.
One-possession game. Shot clock turned off. No timeouts. Smith going for a quick score. Draws the foul on August.
He is so quick to the basket. So quick to the basket.
And Zach August has fouled out.
What do you do on that bench now? He's got no size.
He's got to put somebody in who has not been in the game. And it looks like it's going to be Austin Burgett, a freshman from Avon, Indiana.
Wow. Getting his first 12 seconds of action.
Burgett has appeared in a total of 11 games for 33 minutes.
And probably
this season.
There were probably games early when they're blowing people out. Games that were over.
August did some good work off the bench for the Irish. Now Burgett into the fray.
I thought he was fantastic for what you expect. Kid played his heart out.
Yeah.
This guy's a good free throw shooter.
And get ready if there's a miss here. And he's not going to intentionally miss, you wouldn't think, 12 seconds. But if there is a miss, get ready for a heck of a battle for the rebound.
I'm surprised Bohannon
missed it.
I'm surprised Bohannon wasn't on strike on the inside.
And Connaughton comes up with the rebound and draws the foul.
I'm really shocked that Bohannon was not lined up on the foul line area. Connaughton has really played well here throughout the latter part of this game.
And that's on Hancock as he fouls out. And Rick Pitino puts a player in, Tim Henderson, who has not played tonight. This is nuts.
This is absolutely wacky. Wacky. It's been great, Tom. Great. So proud to be part of something like this. Seeing kids play their hearts out. Coaches coach their hearts out. Giving them life. Giving them life. See, right now, if he converts this, I foul. We were talking about that with him inside. Remember that before the game? That situation. See how Backlund takes some time off the block, put a little pressure on the ball, but he gets 5 and under. I foul. I don't let him get the 3. I don't let him shoot the 3. I don't let him shoot the 3. I don't let him shoot the 3. They got it though, missed it. What an incredible game.
In a game that nobody who was here tonight will ever forget. The Irish Irish win in 5 overtimes. Sam Ponder is with Mike Bray.
All right, Coach, help me out here. How do you describe what just happened tonight?
I guess it's fitting we play overtimes with these guys. I'm so proud of my team. Everybody played, everybody contributed, and many times we looked like we lost it. What a fun night in here.
Coach, there was one point in the game where I wasn't sure y'all were going to get to 50 points. You end up over 100. What was the difference down the stretch?
I think our toughness. Garrick Sherman came in, gave us minutes. How about Jaron Grant getting us back in the game? We got to 100 because we played an extra game.
Coach, you were laughing. Seemed like you were having a good time.
We were having fun. It was awesome. We were enjoying it, and memories of a 4 overtime game at Georgetown a couple years ago, but great win.
That's no big deal. Now, Coach, what does a win like this do for your program at this point in the season?
Well, you know what? It still only counts one Big East win.
Are you sure?
But it's a very good one. We need some rest tomorrow.
Go get your rest, Coach. I'll let you. Good luck getting out of here, guys.
Sam, thank you. Dick, how do you sum it up? How do you wrap up a night like this?
Just a very emotional, passionate performance, a gutty performance by a bunch of kids. You wouldn't think they had a shot. We thought this game was tucked away for Louisville in the last 2 minutes of the game and the regulation. And then all of a sudden, it was the Jaron Grant show, an incredible show. 12 points in 42 seconds. One overtime after another. One big shot. Look at the pandemonium. I say this is the biggest win that he's had as a coach.
It looks like they're going to a Final Four the way they're reacting tonight. You wouldn't be surprised if they brought out a ladder and cut the nets down after winning a game like this here tonight in South Bend. Somehow, some way, the Irish found a way to win a game that it appeared they had no business winning, from Jaron Grant at the end of regulation to Garrick Sherman and all the other stars for them through the overtimes. The final score, the Irish 104, the Cardinals 101. For Dick, Samantha, and the entire crew who did an outstanding job, I'm Dan Schulman, is setting it to Stan Barrett back at SportsCenter.